Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on
Good morning.
Good morning. Or good afternoon for some.
That's true.
Right, Matthew?
Right, yeah. Matthew's listening in his garage right now. His wife is listening to some other room. Yeah, by right now, we mean later.
Yeah, exactly.
But right now when he's listening to it.
Right.
But later for live.
What?
Right, I know. It's so confusing. But we do appreciate all of you, whether you're listening now, whether you're listening on the Restream podcasty thinger-dinger. Whatever.
Are you on goofball pills or something?
Right? Wait, what? Yeah. Also, I say this with all seriousness. Can people stop dying, please, in the sport? I can't. It's too, like, what are we doing? I don't like it. It really bothers me. I know that sounds really stupid, but like it really bothers. It hangs in my. And the one thing that's good, right? That sounds terrible, but the one thing I've always said that I appreciate about when somebody passes away, that whether they're a celebrity or not, I guess. I mean, it could be a friend, a relative, whatever, is the celebration of life and history afterwards. And that, as foreign as it is to you and me, because we're very young, but still we're very aware of Pete Rose, like the amount of people that are actually going to be like, oh, wow, he was really good. Oh, yeah, the home run king, as I like to call him. And so we'll talk about Pete Rose today, who passed away yesterday at 83 years old. And I'll say this in the beginning of the show, just so hopefully it drapes as a disclaimer throughout the program. Pete did some really rough things, and that's like an understatement. Now, you don't want to speak ill of those not with us anymore, but just like legitimately, some really, I'm not talking about the gambling either. Like there were some things, and I think it's okay to acknowledge that, for example, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. I think he should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I strongly believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. That does not mean I think he's a Hall of Fame person. That doesn't mean I think he's a Hall of Fame individual. Like Ty Cobb's in the Hall of Fame. Ty Cobb was a horrific human being, but Ty Cobb was a very good baseball player. He should be in the Hall of Fame. I also think Barry Bonds and Rafael Palmeiro and Sammy Sosa and all those guys, I think they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Who didn't do the awful things.
Huh?
Who didn't do the awful things.
Right, exactly. I mean, they were cheaters, if you will, in a sense, but I think there's there's levels of cheating and different cheatings, and baseball didn't have a problem with it when they knew that half of every ball club, especially in the Bay Area, looked like a porcupine in the clubhouse, but baseball needed ratings after the strike. They were dying worse than they are right now, and chicks dig the long ball. For those of you who aren't familiar, that's a real commercial that ran. Tom Glavine, I think, is the one who said it. Chicks dig the long ball. Yeah, exactly. So, everything's relative. But so when we speak the praises, well, I won't speak for you, but I assume when we speak the praises of Pete Rose, the ball player today, that's not the praises of Pete Rose. Make your own decisions.
Correct.
As a human being. But God, Chris Christopherson, Maggie Smith, Dame Maggie Smith, Chris Christopherson, Pete Rose, Dikembe, and some point today, we may not have time, but if we do have a spare few minutes, I don't know if you saw Masai Ujiri's. He got up at the podium during Raptors Media Day yesterday and did a kind of a live eulogy, if you will, for Dikembe. Very emotional. Dikembe affected a lot of people. So anyways, but we were at Media Day yesterday.
Yes.
And before we get started on that, we'll cover that throughout the day. We actually really do have quite the big show for you.
Yes,
today.
I would agree.
And we're saving it. Okay, because I had looked earlier. So we're gonna do Herder tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to fit all our things in.
Yeah.
Herder and Monty tomorrow, I believe.
So we're wow. Those are Herder. So we sat down. We spoke to DeMar DeRozan, Devin Carter, the rookie. We spoke to Kevin Herder, our old friend, and Monty McNair, our old friend. I think it's safe to say Herder and Monty, especially Herder, those were our most in-depth, probing interviews, if you will.
Yeah.
A couple of breaking news things with Kevin Herder that have nothing to do with basketball or his shoulder, although we did talk about that. And then we kind of got stifled on Monty, unfortunately, because we were having fun with, you were having fun with him. He came out swinging.
He did.
He came out within, what would you say, the first sentence?
Yes.
He's ripping Florida State.
Yeah.
Making Florida State jokes.
He was happy to talk to me.
He actually said that. Good to see you, Jason Ross.
Yeah.
So, we knew there was going to be fireworks, and there were. But then what happens is, and by the way, this is no fault of, this isn't me ripping the Kings media relations at all. They did a wonderful, fantastic job yesterday. But what happens is you have this schedule. Oh, hey, Kevin Herder will be at this time, and we're going to bring Monty by at this time. So you have this whole schedule for all media day, and they come by. And you had Styles and Watkins broadcasting live.
Tons of guys live, which is great. They had a big show.
I think they had the biggest show.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that. They had a ton of guys there. And if you missed that, it's back on the YouTube chat. You're not going to get better coverage anywhere than what they got yesterday.
And we got one of their interviews today.
Yes,
Brown.
we do. As a matter of fact, Mike Brown at the top of the hour. It's 7 a.m. is gonna we'll re-rack that. So they're doing their thing right next to us, and then we have a table and we're recording. And what inevitably happens is, especially in the beginning, is you have this schedule, but then everyone's late. And then so yesterday, Monty comes out. He's the very first guy to come sit down with us. We were the very first stop. Comes in, sits with us, we get going, and then before you know it, 5-6 minutes in, there's Kevin Herder and his handler just waiting. And look, you don't want to make these people wait. They got all kinds of stuff to do. They got everyone grabbing at them, and it's your time. And then we ended up,
especially if Kevin Herder knows you.
Yeah, exactly right. So but it's uncomfortable because we're talking to the general manager of the Sacramento Kings, who we also have a relationship with, and we don't want to usher him out, but he kind of saw it, and so Monty skedaddled, for lack of a better term, and then Herder came in. What do we do? Like 15 minutes with
something like that, and then even after that, then there's like a gap of it. Just that shows how it just.
What was it? 2 hours, an hour until we. Well, who was? Oh, and then DeMar. Okay.
Yeah,
right?
but it was a while.
It was.
And so sometimes there's a lot of sitting, and other times there's like, oh man, we got back to back to back, so you just don't know on the timing. And it's unfortunate. I wouldn't say unfortunate. That's not fair. We got our time with Monty, but we probably would have had more time with Monty. And we had plenty of time with Herder, but that's going to be a fun conversation for everyone to hear.
Yeah, I think so. I think I do. If it's not fun for you to hear, then I don't know what to do. We talked about his wardrobe.
True.
Got into the personal life a little bit.
Yeah. His recovery.
Yeah. Talked about his Yankees.
Yeah. Facial hair.
Who had a long conversation about facial hair.
Kevin Herder was 17 minutes.
Really?
Jeez. Time flew.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, we missed. Well, we hadn't talked to him in a while either. So we had a lot of catching up to do. DeMar was great.
Yeah.
Shockingly. DeMar was great. But
another one I wish we could have more. But I mean, we had good time. It just on the move.
Boom. But honestly, everybody here at the station did a wonderful job. It's always nerve wracking, and for our program director Jose, this was his first media day here, and
it was our program director's first media day last year too.
Well, hopefully we won't be saying the same thing again.
Oh wait,
year.
and the media day before that was also our program director's first media day.
Wait,
that wasn't true last year.
Wait, last year? Yeah, I feel like we haven't had 3. Yeah. Well, because I'm trying to think. Hold on, it's Jose. I thought it went Jose, Brian, Jason,
Nick.
Oh,
yeah, but last year, Brian was not here at that time.
That's right. So did Brian get a media day in?
No, I was kind of temporary.
That's right. But he missed it by days.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chris says, I heard you guys wouldn't let anyone else interview Fox on the station. I think that's just me and Chris. We actually...
exactly the opposite.
It's literally the opposite. We had an opportunity to talk to De'Aaron.
Scheduled for us. And Styles and Watkins were rolling along. Or excuse me. Yeah, we played the heroes, I thought.
I thought we did too.
You guys actually had to hold me back because I was embarrassingly loud yelling that Fox needs to come and talk to you guys.
Yeah, well, what had happened is that Whitey and Kyle, because of their time, were getting there at the very end, so they kind of get screwed the most just because of time.
Like most of their show is nobody's there.
Right, exactly. And so, if you're going to get one guy, get De'Aaron Fox. Well, we'd already had, as we said, 4 guys, and we had an opportunity. De'Aaron was scheduled for us, and we looked at each other and said, you know what, we gave, I don't mean this in anything but respectful way. They deserved it. We gave De'Aaron Fox to the afternoon show. And they did a wonderful job. We'll probably play that a little bit later in the week. So the one thing that went wrong, but it's okay, is that we were scheduled for Malik Monk, and they just kind of, the handlers didn't, before we knew it, Malik had come and sat down with Styles and Watkins.
Yeah.
So.
But we got back at them.
How'd we get back at them?
I stole DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, that's right. Which is a good trade.
Yeah.
And then we're supposed to, and I told you, I talked to Malik after, and we're supposed to have him on here. We'll get a one-on-one with him. We'll have him on because we still have to give him all the stuff from the audience.
Yes. Everybody was so nice to him.
And I told him, I told him about the key to the city. I told him about the guy who named his kid Malik. I told him about the tattoo. I told him about the golf. I told him about the Gatorade.
Golf?
That's exactly. He goes, I got to get my golf. Yeah. That's like literally verbatim what he said. I got to get my golf. Okay, well, you got to come on the program. So we're actually really kind of bribing him. Gary Gerald was there.
Yes.
Great to see him as always. It's always good. It's good to see all the media in one place. As you and I are now some of the elder statesmen out there. I didn't like the question of how many media days has this been for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But, just it's funny. My first one, I think, was 02 or 03. What year was your first media day?
I mean, I started in 94, but I don't know. I can't remember if I did a media day then. I think I did.
My first one was 2023.
Your first media day was 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
A year ago?
Didn't you come out to one years ago before that?
Nope. Oh. Well, I was always working over here during media day.
Interesting. What'd you think?
It's cool.
Yeah. It's a cluster, but honestly, it takes a lot of preparation.
Like the selfish thing is it's nice to see all of your media friends.
Yeah, it is
out there.
It is nice to see all your media friends, everybody there together. Whether they're your real friends, whether they're media friends, whether they're their competition.
Yeah,
everyone gets along.
I was looking for the pizza.
No food. None. Although Katie came walking in with a chicken sandwich.
I know. Chris and I were both looking at that. Like,
I saw a couple players with chicken sandwiches.
I think there must have been chicken sandwiches in the back.
Sneaky.
I mean, look, can I say this? Everything went great, but also, I'll say it. You're worth. The team's worth about $3 billion. Can we get a
buffet?
We get some
sandwich bar.
Something. I don't care. Get some veggies and dip.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to
baked
be
beans,
tortilla pinwheels. Yeah. Doesn't have to be gourmet.
Yeah.
Nacho bar.
Oh
yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. It's too. You don't want like candy.
Yeah, that's a good point. But chocolate fountain.
Yeah.
By the way, were you ever able to find that clip before I forget about it?
Yes.
You did find it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. We'll play that and say for out. All right. We do have honestly, we have a big show for you. Late ad last night, Dr. Luke Wood is going to join us. He is the president of Sac State University, and he's going to come on, update us on what's going on. We've been really good on this story. They've been very good with us. we will continue to push and talk about Sac State's push for Pac-12 and or Mountain West. And we had Josh Wood, his brother, on. We're going to have the president of the entire school on. And being that my daughter is college age next year, maybe, I don't know, maybe a little, maybe a little something.
No, not a state school.
Well, at 6:30. We're gonna hear from Mike Brown, who visited with Styles and Watkins yesterday. That's going to be at 7 a.m. DeMar DeRozan joins us at 7:28. Sean Salisbury maybe at 8 a.m. Devin Carter at 8:13, and Niners at 9. 4 down territory. 3 for madness. Pete Rose, Dikembe Mutombo, a couple of football games last night. We got you covered. It's 4 hours of very rare quality from this time slot. Sit back, relax. We'll be back with leading off. Farhan got fired. I mean, unfortunately, a man lost his job, and we'll talk about that coming up next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
My side's on. Playing. I got my little thinger turned up, It's in program. Bear with. Uh-oh. Oh, we're going to reset everything. All right. Well, then, hey, while you're resetting it, because here's how I can vamp. Can you give me the breaking news, bed? Just this is a bit. Nothing really happened, but this is really fun.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sactown Sports breaking news.
One of the reporters we love seeing out there, the Beast, Jason Anderson, the beat reporter for the Kings.
Yeah.
Has broke this story yesterday afternoon. I just saw it. You pointed it out to me, Jason, but he is very happy to report that Gary Gerald will be back for his 40th season as the radio voice of the Kings. That is, well, I wasn't sure. But now we know.
Now we know. Yeah, G-Man made the trek. He was taking some time off in Tahoe. And drove down yesterday and drove right back.
The old Tahoe City haunt?
Yes. So he was up and back in a day.
Okay, so I know that like Katie and a few other non-players were doing stuff and I know G-Man's not TV, but one of the things they did that you're going to see was actually kind of cool. Have you seen the pictures from yesterday?
Some, but...
So remember how there was some dude with like an aerosol can spraying like spray smoke?
Yeah.
The results actually look super cool, right? It's like a dark room, and then there'll be like a green or gold or purple glow with the light, and then the aerosol smoke is like lit behind the players, right? And then you had one where I think the players are on this like rotating platform, and they're doing the whole. Can we run G-Man through that gauntlet?
I know. Well, you know what? I will say this. I felt like this would probably be back in the Craig Amazine days that we did probably like 3 years in a row of like radio had to be suited up. And we did all these pictures with TV and video stuff, and the basketball and passing it back and forth, spinning it on your finger. I'm like, oh, that's fun. I don't know where any of that stuff went or ever showed up or
finished personal files.
Yeah, exactly.
We need that.
Yeah,
we need that. I want to see G-Man do like the look into the camera
when he had the chain.
Yes, like he's got the chain, and then he just like looks up.
Yeah,
and he just holds the thing out, the chain with the whatever's on it. Anyways, all right, let's this was going to be cut number one. I think
Buster's a winner. Buster's a winner. And AJ, we talk about it all the time. I'm sure you talked about it even when you were playing. How do you create a culture? Nobody can put a dollar sign on a culture. Well, I promise, because I played with him and I played against him. I lost a World Series to him. This dude knows how to create a culture, and not just like, oh, he's just the greatest leader ever because he has all these great speeches and everything. He knows the guys who are good at doing X, guys that are good at doing Y, guys that are good at doing Z, and putting them all together because there's a value in each of those guys. And then you go out and play.
Who's that? Eric Kratz? Who's that?
Yes.
Who is that?
He's on foul territory.
Gotcha.
Baseball player.
I don't want somebody in here. I mean, I speak as a Giants fan. I agree with a lot of what he said. I don't want anybody doing X. That's you run it. I mean, everyone's just like petting the baseball and look.
How about Y?
Yeah, Y is
X
fine.
is going to give it to you.
X will give it to you. That Farhan Zaidi is gone. Buster Posey is in. I heard a lot of people say, "Well, this might be a Vlade thing." Well, it might be a Vlade thing, but Buster's not that Vlade isn't. Not only is Buster a pretty intelligent dude, but if it is set up correctly, it's exactly the polar opposite of Farhan Zaidi. You've got a guy who played the game, who is going to be far less analytical, who when players, the word was on Farhan is that when players, whatever, are around him when he's making his pitches, they're just like, okay, whatever, nerd. Like that was kind of the idea. Buster Posey steps in a room and it's like, I don't care who you are. If you play the game or near the game, it's instant. He's just a guy that commands instant respect. Now, all of the numerics and everything we call, being stat nerds, that's a legit part of the game and needs to be a part of the front office. But much like the Ken Catanellas of the world that really get all that stuff, Buster hopefully will be surrounding himself with the nerds, and then he can be the front man. I don't know Farhan Zaidi personally. I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm not sure he's a great guy. I'm going to assume he is and has a family and all that. In all seriousness, I'm not celebrating a man losing his job. That's always weird. And I'm sure he'll be fine. But this should have happened last summer. It's a wasted year, not just on the field, but developmentally for the most part, with a couple exceptions. It's just a move that needed to be made, and thank God it got made. And I think if they handle this correctly, Giants fans can finally have a future they can look to instead of this crap that they've been pushing out.
It's funny that you said Vlade, because I was thinking about that yesterday in a sense like this, where I don't know, there wasn't much more of a beloved King than Vlade Divac. Then he takes that job, and Vlade took a lot of hits. And Buster is in that realm of one of the most loved Giants of all time.
That's right.
So I think everything today and yesterday is positive. It can go the other way.
It can.
And it takes some work in some mistakes and some miscues, but I hope it works out well, because then it also could then propel Buster to even another level of legendary Giant.
And he also, to your point, he's not just, going to be the president of basketball or baseball operations. He's part owner. I mean, he bought a piece of the team. He moved out here from Buster Posey. These are where, to your point, again, the similarities are. He's got enough money. He wasn't living here. He's in Georgia. He's native, doing his thing. He's come out here because he cares about the organization, wants to see them right the ship. He's a 3-time champion. But, again, Vlade, nobody ever doubted Vlade's motives.
Right.
It was his effectiveness.
Right.
But his motives were wonderful. Just wasn't in the cards. Number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
This is someone who never loses perspective. He's talking about some of the most critical issues in the world. There's a hopefulness to him, and I think that's part of what makes him so special.
One thing I learned playing in this game,
not every player will get an opportunity to win a championship. Even those who don't win, they're still a champion in so many people's heart.
That voice is instantly recognizable. Dikembe Mutombo passed away at 58, brain cancer. Again, if we have time, if not today, maybe tomorrow or later in the week, or whenever, we'll play Masai Ujiri's comments, who knew him quite well. That we heard that during the show yesterday, and then after the show, Jason, it was Pete Rose who passed away at 83 years old, and that's going to spark a lot of conversation now. And we had Pete Rose on the show once, Jason.
I know.
We had Pete Rose.
You did, yeah. I wasn't with you then at that time.
One of my favorite moments, being able to introduce one of the all-time great players.
One of the guys that's going to be, and one of the guys, come on, I mean, there's some people that are going to be there, but the guy.
The headline.
Yeah, hey, none other than the home run king himself, Mr. Pete Rose. Pete, it's Dave, Katie, and Nate. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing well today, and I appreciate that. But actually, Barry Bonds is.
I said the home run king.
He literally hit himself in the head right when that happened.
I am the stupidest person in the world.
I mean, I've walked into a lot of brick walls in my life, like cartoon Bugs Bunny style, just leaving a Carmichael Dave outline in the wall. That might be the one. It's on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, but it's like it's praising him more than, you know what I mean? Like,
the worst part about that whole thing was the amount of people that legitimately were asking me, like, dude, how could you work in this business and not know he was the hit king? I'm like, I know he's the hit king.
Yeah.
4192. The B had when he tied the record, the headline was fit to be tied, TYE apostrophe. Like I was there. I watched it. I know. Trust me. It happens. I misspoke. Or is it Mr. Spoke? Because I'm a guy. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Dr. Luke Wood, he is the president of Sacramento State. Let's hope I don't introduce him as UC Davis president.
Yes,
Luke
let's
Wood.
hope not.
I'll try to get that right. He's going to join us, and we are going to talk about what's going on in the world of NIL, their announcement yesterday, where they're going, and so much more right here on Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sactown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
When it comes to fighting for families and protecting kids, no one works harder than our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover. A member of the Bipartisan Problem Solvers Caucus, Hoover has worked across party lines and proposed tougher penalties for fentanyl crimes, stricter sentences for drug trafficking near schools, and RILA's law to make sure anyone who abuses a child is held accountable. A former school board member, Josh has fought to support school police officers, prohibit homeless encampments near schools, and increase funding for school facilities. Josh Hoover knows that families have been paying more for everything from gas and groceries to utilities and insurance. In the Assembly, Josh is working to provide relief to families, reduce the cost of housing, and stop Gavin Newsom from raising gas prices even more next year. Josh Hoover is making a difference for our families, our community, and our future. Our voice, our Assemblyman, Josh Hoover.
Paid for by Hoover for Assembly 2024.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
All right. Live and local for a reason we are. And it's always good when, local things are happening. That's why, if this was a national show station, you'd be reading about this stuff or seeing it on Twitter. But the story with Sac State has been a blast to watch. Now, Jason, again, full disclosure, you're the longtime, I don't know what we're disclosing, but you're the longtime.
It's not a secret.
No, you're a longtime voice of Sac State football, and they're making moves.
Yes.
And when this whole thing started, I know Josh Wood really well from the KJ Think Big, Kings days, all that stuff. Our next guest, his brother. So the apple tree, whatever that saying is. I mean, you're talking about ambition, determination, not listening to naysayers, throwing your cap over the wall. And we are honored to bring in the president of Sacramento State, the one, the only, Dr. Luke Wood. Luke, it's Dave. It's Jason. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Let's get this out of the way at the beginning, because I've been kind of stressing out about this. So I introduced you, but then is it Doc? Is it Luke? Is it Dr. Wood, Mr. President? There's like 8 ways we can go here. I just want to get it right.
So, it is. I do have a PhD. I am the president of Sacramento State, but I prefer just to go by Luke. That's the name that my parents gave me.
Okay. All right. Just want to be respectful. As you know, I am a huge fan of your brother. I'm a huge fan of what I believe is likely a family ethos. And as a native Sacramentan, as somebody who adores this city and wants it to grow, I can appreciate, Luke, the old adage, throwing your cap over the wall, you're committed, and really, I wouldn't say biting off more than you can chew. I hope not, but taking that bite. And it seems like you guys have taken a nice big bite out of the apple in the last couple weeks.
Yeah. I mean, we're serious about elevating Sacramento State. And one of the best ways that you can elevate a institution, a university, is through athletics. And we're fortunate that we've had some great teams. We've got Mark Orr, he's our athletic director. And, we've got 21 sports, and 7 of them won conference championships last year. Another 3 played in the conference championship and didn't win. So if you think about that kind of record, and then if you look at what happened with Sacramento State football over the last 4 years, it's been to the playoffs, all 4 years. 3 of those 4 years won the conference championship. And I honestly think, despite the loss that we just had on the road for a number of different reasons, I think that we're going to have a great playoff run this year too. So, we got great sports teams, but it's time for us to continue to elevate Sacramento State sports, and one of the clear things that has been a challenge over the years is facilities. And so, we've got a plan for basketball. We'll have our new athletic facility for basketball opens up in December. That's phase 1. We're going to make that 2 phases. And so that was something that I did, within the first couple months of coming into Sacramento State. We did the FBS feasibility study and got the changes done on that. And then now we've got, the plan for the stadium that's going to do football, it's going to do soccer, it's going to do rugby. And then, of course, you probably heard yesterday that Sac-12 raised an incredible sum of money in less than 24 hours for name, image, and likeness, which is critical to being competitive at any level.
Luke, I was curious too about, we'll kind of get into all these things here, but of last week's announcement of the stadium, I was there for that exciting pep rally type feel of what could be coming and will be coming to Sacramento. But when you make that announcement, sometimes more things come up. You guys already have your plans on who's going to help with this and how you're going to get it done. But I'm curious, like when you get it announced, how many more people all of a sudden said, hey, I want to help. I want to support Sacramento State.
Oh, it's an avalanche of support. Major companies in the area asking if they can, help with namings, donors who are wanting to contribute, tenants who want to be part of being able to, have their teams play there. I mean, it's actually been incredible. I mean, even yesterday, we were fielding calls the entire day of folks who are excited and in some ways are, moving it even farther than we had. And the truth is we're good to go. So we welcome that support because it's always beneficial, but we're in a great position and we're excited.
Dr. Luke Wood joining us, Sac State president. And in talking about this, I want to say, and Jason, I've said this both on the show and to you privately, I really appreciate how you, Josh, our old friend Ben Sisenko back east, everybody working on this has rolled this thing out. I think it's honestly genius from a PR standpoint and from a communication standpoint. I think a lot of people understandably assume, hey, they had this idea about a month ago when we heard about it. And then, they got the funding a couple weeks ago and announced the stadium and now the NIL. But we all know, or you and I know, and I think a few others, this isn't something that has happened in the last few days or few weeks. I'm imagining this thing's been cooking for a little bit. And as much as you're comfortable, just maybe go into the details of, when the eureka moment was, if there was one, and just all the work that's gone into getting to these announcements you guys have been putting out.
Yeah, it's been about 14 months of work and honestly, there were some important things that President Nelson did about 2 years ago that also were very helpful in terms of providing a foundation for it. But, I kind of like saying that, he did the horizontal development and we're doing the vertical. And that's kind of, what's happened. But it's been about 14 months, from the FBS study, from the adjustment of resources that we've done, from the moving forward with a concept. It's been some time.
How much?
So what people see is just this last part, right? But they don't understand the grind it takes to get to this moment.
That's right.
Yeah, excuse me. How much does this parallel what you were able to do at San Diego State with Snapdragon? Are there similarities here with the two locations?
Well, actually, I do think there's a lot of similarities in terms of one of the things that I got to really just see as part of that being on cabinet when that was happening at San Diego State is how the campus organized the community around it. When you're talking about that, you're talking about your boosters, you're talking about your alumni, you're talking about your student community, you're talking about your local electeds. It's a substantial amount of work, but I got to see that up close. And so in many ways, that's what we're doing. We're taking, I would say, two different playbooks. We're taking the playbook from San Diego State in terms of what they did with Snapdragon. And the second is we're taking the playbook with what Kevin Johnson did with Vivek and bringing in the Kings and building Golden One. Or elevating. Yep.
Dr. Wood, as we begin to wrap up here, I want to take a step to the side here because I think stories are magnificent and I think they help make things happen. And I hope I'm not overstepping or making you uncomfortable. But when the process of doing the show, when we have guests on, especially ones that we haven't spoken to a ton, there's a bit of research. And I'm on your page, bio page, and just amongst other things, including being a PhD, you've authored over 170 publications, 16 books. I could literally probably take the rest of the show and name off the things that you've done, but it's the personal life that caught me. It says that J. Luke Wood is a former ward of the court and foster child. He and his twin brother, Joshua, were adopted and raised in a foster home. Member of Alpha Phi Alpha, amateur boxer in the Masters Cruiserweight division. That's a movie. I mean, that is an absolute movie for you to have gone through what you went through. And again, I'm a huge fan of your brothers. The work that you guys have done in this community to help lift it to another level and the work you're currently doing. I'm sure you're not the type to sit back, look in the mirror and pat yourself on the shoulder, but do you ever take a deep breath and look at where you were and where you are and just kind of shake your head as to how amazing that journey has been?
You know, I have to say I'm blessed to have had the journey that I've had. But in my mind, we're just getting started. And here's the thing. I have, and based on that, based upon, how, I came into this world and my early experiences, I am a person who thrives upon people who doubt, people who don't believe in the things that can be achieved. I said when I was a kid at Sacramento State that I was going to be president of this university, and I'm doing it. I said when I was a professor that I was going to be a distinguished professor, and I did that in 7 years. I said as a doctoral student I was going to publish my first book, and did that as a student. When I look back at everything that me and Josh and others who come from the same kind of background that we do, we box above our weight classes, and we do it in a powerful way. And I have the privilege of leading my alma mater, and I have so much love for Sacramento State. Sacramento State made me into who I am, and I'm going to be here for a really long time. And I kind of feel like in some ways Sacramento State's story mirrors mine. It's an institution that serves many low-income, first-generation students whose parents didn't go to college, and they're trying to create a better life for themselves and for their families, and it's a scrappy institution. And we show that in academics. We show that in athletics. And I think what people have been seeing over, this past 14 months, and particularly over the past several weeks, is we thrive when people doubt what we can create and what we can achieve. So we love a dark horse campaign.
Yeah. One last thought as we wrap things up. How about the $35 million, at least that was publicly announced yesterday, that was help raise for NIL? What does that do? And I know the target was 50. Sounds like you guys may even be able to get north of that.
Yeah, I was happy to hear. Obviously, keeping close tabs on what's been going on with the Sac-12, especially given the folks who are involved in leading the effort. Happy to see that's how much that was raised yesterday. I know that I know that as of today, there's only 10 left to go towards their goal of 50. So I'm excited for what they've been able to do. And I think if you think about this time frame, to do that in this kind of time frame is unheard of. So, but that's the amount of community support that's there. A local tribe that came in, some big donors that came in, and then a lot of people who contributed. I'm not going to share the details. I'll leave that to the Sac-12. But there's a story, a movie just to be made about how all that happened too.
10 million, Jason.
Yeah.
Should we
fill in the pieces?
We could have a bake sale.
That's right.
We do a car wash.
Yes.
Doc, we appreciate the time. Really appreciate the effort. Jason knows this. We had a meeting here, about 10 years ago with a bunch of Sac Statey people. And we're asking these questions like, how can we go to the next level? What is it? Why can't this is such a college town, and you can visualize barbecues and tailgating and a big college atmosphere, college game day here. I mean, if you can do it in Boise State and Fresno State, you can do it in Cincinnati and so many other states. Why can't you do it here? And finally, somebody smarter than us picked up the ball and ran it. And we're going to be behind you. There's no non-biased journalism here. We're in the tank, man. We want this thing to work out. We're here to support you in any way. So appreciate your time, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys too, and just keep watching. I think there's more to come very shortly.
Appreciate it. Nice. That's Dr. Luke Wood, president of Sac State, and we'll be in touch with him and his brother. And he really is an insane story.
Yes, he is.
I mean, my goodness. We'll take a break. When we come back, safe or out, Farhan, you're gone. Pete Rose passing away, and we're in the playoffs. We'll get to that next.
Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now. It's better over here.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits, and if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
A woman not only knows what she's going to wear, she knows what you're not going to wear.
Rob Schneider.
You're not wearing that.
Coming to Hard Rock Live, Sacramento this Friday.
You're not wearing that. I know I'm not. I just tried it on, to kind of warm up the idea of clothes, and then.
Don't miss Rob Schneider. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
You can join us on the YouTube chat. Say hello. Hit the like. Make MC happy, and the rest of us. Tony Hinchcliffe tickets for his live podcast coming up at 8:30. DeMar DeRozan at 7:28. Mike Brown with Styles and Watkins in 12 minutes. Check in with the YouTubes. Put on a helmet and pads. And lay off my shirt. They're killing my shirt today, Jason.
Why?
They don't like the color. They don't like the color.
You took some hits yesterday at Media Day.
I've taken hits. You know what? Here's the problem.
You're puffy, less puffy's best.
Let's not call it puffy, please. You try to, you work out a little bit. You try to eat a little healthier. You change up the wardrobe a bit. It was time, and everyone's just, it's not like I'm not already a little deep down, a little insecure about it. Without my cat and dog shirts.
You?
Right. And then everyone just jumps on it. Like we're back in school instead of saying, "Hey, Dave," you know who complimented me on the YouTube chat? MC did. That's so that he right, and I thank him for it. He thinks I always point out the bad stuff. That's I'm going to focus on what he said. Just that part. He probably said some other things, but that part I'm going to focus on.
Good.
Thank you. Meanwhile, Chris Guerrero in there is one of our loyal listeners, and I love him, who is literally probably in a bathtub of Cheetos right now, is ripping my shirt. And he's probably wearing a ripped shirt. Like one of them chest rips where there's like a nipple poking out. And everyone's trying not to look. He's telling me about my collar. Anyways, it's fine. It doesn't bother me. Not one bit. Safe route question 1, please.
Removing Farhan and adding Buster Posey alone will make the Giants a playoff team in 2025.
No, out. There's work that's got. Now, look, that being said, they got a top 10 payroll. It is step 1. And the question now is, can they do step 2, step 3? And by the way, it's not out of the realm of possibility. If they go out and just, hey, we're signing this guy, but always work. I don't know if this is a step in the right direction. Only time will tell. But at least they have stopped stepping down this fruitless road of the Farhan Zaidi era. Thank you for that 1 year. That was neat. The 197 win year. But now the hopefully the franchise can get back to where. And by the way, they now have all of Northern California to themselves. They should be super happy. Go do your thing. And hopefully turn this thing around. And I love Buster Posey.
Yeah.
No secret. Florida State guy. Known him, followed him since he was playing shortstop as a freshman. I love this guy, and I do have confidence in him.
I think it is. I can only say step 1, so I'd say out, but doesn't mean it can't be safe later. It's just What else do they do? Do they get it right? And sometimes it doesn't have to be as much as it's probably been frustrating for Giants fans to not get Harper and Judge and all the people they were allegedly second on.
Right.
That's not what they have to do. Now, if you get something like that, great, but get everything kind of closer to right and make moves where you go, wow, that was just a great move that worked out well for the Giants. And too many of them, I would say, in the last 5 years have not. So got to hit it right.
Number 2, please.
Pete Rose did not make the Hall of Fame in his lifetime, but he will eventually make it.
It's kind of messed up if he does.
Do you think it's messed up? So
I always thought, like, if they waited and then he gets him, like then you're just torturing him.
Here's where I've landed on this, and I've seen this, and I'm kind of comfortable with it. Look, Pete Rose bet on baseball.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Rose also did some things off the field that are really, really gross.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. Pete Rose was handed down from Bartlett Giamatti, the late Bart Giamatti. He was handed down a lifetime ban. Well, he ain't alive. He got the lifetime ban. Here's how baseball should do it. The memory of, because that thing, there are many that would, and maybe it's one of them after, therefore, because of it things, but Bart Giamatti, some people say this thing kind of helped his demise. This was such a huge, huge thing. But in memory of him, in memory of Faye Vincent, baseball would be well served in Rob Manfred as he exits to say, hey, look, he got a lifetime ban. He served the ban. He has paid for his crimes against baseball. Now we're going to put him in the, he won't get the chance. He doesn't get the chance to make the speech, to do the thing.
Yeah.
But now that it's over, and I'm talking about his time here, now his family will get the opportunity to honor him. And it's not a perfect solution, but it's what we have. And I think that should placate, I would hope, those who don't want him in. Look, it was a lifetime ban. He's also the greatest hitter of all time, at least, hitter. But if I was a new commissioner coming in after Manfred in 2029, I think one of the first things you could do for baseball that would create the wing. I don't care what you call it the probationary wing, the whatever. And let's get Bonds in and Clemens and Shoeless Joe Jackson and Pete Rose. And baseball is what it is, man. Good and bad. But you've got arguably 5 of the top 10 players of all time, if not even more, that are not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Fix it.
It's so weird. Just the whole premise of, it's almost like, to me, I mean, you said it earlier. I agree. I think he should be in. I think he should have been in. I would have done it. I would have done it differently. But it's almost like if you're doing the penalty, then you should go for it. He's not the hit king then. And Bonds isn't the home run king.
Right.
If you're kind of doing it, what are we, they're kind of doing it, but also not.
Right.
These are all records. We all seen it. It's all happened.
Yeah. If it either is or isn't.
Don't count the hits. Don't count the home runs.
No.
Or these guys are some of the best that baseball has ever had. Yeah, they did things that baseball's not proud of, but join the list.
There's a lot that baseball's not proud of. If you really want to do that, then nobody who was around during the Negro Leagues in baseball management's allowed to be in the Hall of Fame. Ty Cobb's out of the Hall of Fame.
Right.
There's a lot of crap history when it comes to baseball, and you just they've chosen to turn a blind eye to some and put both spectacles on others.
Yeah.
And like I said, they weren't bitching when the McGuire and Sosa had steroids leaking out of their nostrils and were saving baseball. They weren't bitching when
wipe your nose.
Sammy Sosa after 9/11 ran around Wrigley Field with the flag in his hand. And they weren't bitching when McGuire missed first base after he hit the record-breaking home run and they had the big hug. That it was like baseball was in cardiac arrest, and Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa were the thingies, the pom-poms, the defibrillators.
There we go.
Thank you.
The pom-poms.
Clear. Yay.
Using the pom-poms.
Number 3. I'm an idiot. Number 3.
Baseball just got 100 times more exciting.
Safe.
Playoffs are here.
Yeah. Very safe. You could argue. I would argue 1,000 times more exciting. I'm into it now. Now we're into it. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I'm ranking teams as to who I want to win, who I don't want to win. The pressure. Playoff baseball. Hockey fan will always tell you, the way to get into hockey is a Stanley Cup playoffs. I couldn't agree more. The Stanley Cup, I could watch no hockey all year long. Stanley Cup playoffs come along. I pick a couple teams. I watch. It's incredible. It is incredible viewing and pressure and craziness. Baseball is the same. Not as action-packed per se, but every pitch has an aura about it. It's amazing.
If the team you're rooting for is the home team and the visitors get a leadoff walk or a leadoff hit in the first inning, it's like, oh no. I mean, you're already tense because it's the first batter. It's like, all right, do you pitch around the next guy? You got to get the double play. Oh no, is he going to steal? It starts already, and it's different than a game in May or July or September.
That's right.
It's just different.
It is completely. It's not a different sport, but it's kind of a different sport.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. When we come back, hey, Styles and Watkins. They're gonna talk with Mike Brown. This is from Media Day, so stay tuned. If you missed that on their show, we'll pop it into this show. Enjoy Coach Mike Brown, who, amongst other things, interesting conversations about how he's going to use Malik Monk, Kevin Herter, and Keon Ellis this year. We'll get to that next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it? Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
True fans of the game should pick up a copy of The Match, the day the game of golf changed forever, written by Mark Frost, who also wrote The Greatest Game Ever Played. The book was published more than 10 years ago, but it tells the true story of a remarkable round of golf played by legendary professionals Ben Hogan and Byron Nelson against two of the sport's greatest amateurs, Ken Venturi and Harvey Ward. Hogan, who avoided playing with amateurs at all costs, was hoodwinked into playing by Eddie Lowry, Francis Ouimet's diminutive caddy, who at that point was a successful San Francisco businessman. The match, with its many wagers, was set to be played at Cypress Point Club, and although the exciting 18 holes unfold with each turn of a page, it's the backstory of each of the players that makes the words come alive. My friend Ken Venturi, the last survivor of that foursome, told me it was a dream match, and so good even fiction couldn't touch it. It's a fabulous read. For Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Shop fall savings at Big O Tires now through October 13th, and buy 3 get 1 free on 4 select in-stock tires with installation and alignment purchase on all 4 tires. And with plenty of inventory now in stock, Big O has the tires to fit almost every car, SUV, and light truck on the road. Don't miss the buy 3 get 1 tire free sale this week. Offer good while supplies last. Disposal fees extra. Not valid with other offers. See participating Big O dealer for details.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper, Drapes for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now is the time to buy or lease a Mercedes-Benz van for sale. They have Sprinter vans. You could turn it into a worker cargo van, a worker passenger van, or just a plain old passenger van. They are fully customizable. And one of the things I love about their Sprinter vans, because trust me, I had a chance to check them out myself. I hopped in the Sprinter van, and you guys know I'm a big guy, right? Well, I was able to stand up head to toe and fit perfectly. So if you're interested in the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van for your business or just your personal needs, now is the time to head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They can help you find the configuration that best suits your needs. Plus, you can take advantage of the huge tax breaks before year's end. Take the short drive down I-5 or go online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them your boy Drape sent you.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
How's it going, Coach? Good to see you. Thank you.
Special day when Mike Brown joins us. Mike Brown, thank you so much for joining us, head coach of your Sacramento Kings. And Coach, as we get your headset on, get you ready to go, Chris and I were talking about how Media Day reminds us of Picture Day when we were kids. Yeah. Were you big on Picture Day? Would you come, with your best fit on, your crispy shoes? Were you a picture day person, a kiddo?
I was a picture day person. The thing I always hate, I had an afro. This is when I had hair, right?
Yeah.
I had an afro, and I could never get my afro to be perfect like
right.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Mike, it didn't matter how old Michael was. Michael had this beautiful afro.
He had like a mold almost.
Man. And mine was a little lumpy here, a little lumpy there. And that was the only thing I hated about picture day.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, first off, congratulations also on the extension this offseason. How's it feel to just kind of feel like there's maybe a little bit of stability, even if it is just kind of mentally knowing like, all right, that's to the side and we can just kind of focus on basketball.
No, you know what? I think our owner, Vivek Ranadiv, as well as the plethora of other owners that we do have, showing the confidence in myself and the staff to be able to continue trying to lead this ship in the right direction. And so thank those guys, Monty and Monty McNair and Matina as well. But it's exciting. Sacramento is where I want to be. My family loves it. I love it. And I do think we can do big things here. And I'm looking forward to trying to accomplish those things.
Awesome. Yeah, we can tell you love it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, talking to Coach Mike Brown, you've been out in the community so much, and we talked a little bit last week about high school football. And I got to give you your kudos right here, because the backstory is we were chatting, and the conversation came up of, hey, I need to go. I'm trying to diversify the schools that I go to. I need to get out to Grant. So that conversation happened. Next thing I know, a couple of days later, I'm on Twitter. This man got to Grant immediately. You did not waste time. How important is it for you to be a part of the community and just really ingratiate yourself with everybody in Sacramento?
Yeah, I tell you what, the fans in Sacramento no matter where I go, I'm walking on the street, I'm in the mall, I'm at the restaurant, I'm here in the arena. The fans are fantastic, and to be able to touch them and thank them for their support is something that I always try to do. And so getting out to Grant High School was something that I wanted to do. My stepdaughter, she goes to Oak Ridge High School, and so it's right down the street from me. I'm able to get to a couple of games before the season starts, and I love high school football, so I did it. But like you said, I wanted to make sure that I'm able to diversify of where I'm going and who I'm touching, and so to be able to go see that environment in Grant was a lot of fun.
How much have you been keeping up with? I don't know if you've seen the Sac-12 effort, the Sac State's effort to make the Pac-12. Have you seen much of it, and just kind of what are your initial thoughts on that movement?
No, I have. I think it's definitely a great thing.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten out to any Sac State games this year. I went last year to I think at least one, if not two, but one for sure. And that can be a fantastic environment. Football in Northern California, obviously, as you guys know, is a big deal. To have a team in the Pac-12 that has the capabilities or the possibilities that Sac State has. Oh, man, good things can happen, because I know the people in Sacramento, let alone the kids that go to school there at Sac State, will rally behind the whole efforts.
Talking to Coach Mike Brown. All right, Coach, we started you off with some softball type questions. Now it's going to get a little tougher. There you go.
Knocked him out.
I knocked him out for sure. There you go.
I'm 2 for 2 with two home runs.
You're 2 for 2. So, we're on the radio every single day. There's a lot of talk about the 2 position, right? And that 2 guard position, what's going to happen there as you head into camp? Is it a situation where it's going to be like a high school football tryout? You have no clue, and whoever impresses you the most is going to get the position? Or do you have an idea, but you could be swayed? What is your thought process at that 2 guard position going into the season of training camp?
Well, right now, Kevin is not healthy all the way, and so and I've said this to the media a little earlier. Having the luxury of a guy like Malik come off the bench, I've been fortunate enough to experience it with 2 of the best in Andre Iguodala and Manu Ginobili. And, Manu came off the bench behind a career 6.2 scorer a game and Bruce Bowen. And there's not a single person in the world that would say, hey, I'd rather have Bruce Bowen on my team than Manu Ginobili, even though Bruce started. And between the 2 of them, they won 8 NBA championships. 7 of them were won when they were 6 men. So to be able to have that punch Hall of Fame coach Greg Popovich used to say when he talked about Manu coming off the bench, and even Steve Kerr, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame as a coach as well, to have that punch that those two guys talk about with a guy like Malik, with a guy like Manu, with a guy like Andre that can just tie things together, it's a luxury. And I feel like it's a luxury we should take advantage of. And so right now for me in the foreseeable future, that's what Malik's going to do. And again, everybody's like, well, Malik says he wants to start. He should want to start. I don't want anybody that doesn't have the competitive edge that or demeanor that Malik has. I embrace that because I know at the end of the day, his best friend, his teammates, the organization, but more importantly for Malik, because he gets out there more than me, the city of Sacramento, he doesn't want to disappoint those guys, and he won't. So he's going to embrace whatever role he has to help uplift this team. And so with those two in mind, because those two are probably the most logical quote unquote starters in that position, Keon by default is gonna start there during training camp.
Okay.
He's gonna be with the first unit, and we'll see what happens from there.
You've talked a lot about your relationship with Greg Popovich, and DeMar had him forward his book. What is your guys' relationship like now, and what do you think Coach Pop told DeMar about what to expect from you, and what has Coach Pop told you about what to expect from DeMar?
The first thing is, you talk about DeMar's ability on the court. Everybody sees that, but to know how humble he is, how caring he is, how good of a person he is, how he touches his teammates and uplifts them on a daily basis while trying to encourage them to play the right way and to be a part and embrace their roles. Those are things that you don't know about until you're around somebody and you face some adversity.
Right.
And to be able to hear that from Pop about DeMar from Jump Street was something that really sold me on him, because it's obvious what you're going to get from him from a basketball standpoint. And I hope Pop told him that I'm great. I'm better than him. I'm better than Popovich. I'm going to help DeMar get to new heights.
Yeah.
I hope he told him all those good things. But my relationship with Pop goes way back, and he'll always have a special place in my heart, because he's more than just a coach to me, or more than just a Hall of Fame coach to me. He's a guy that impacted my life off the floor just as much as he did on the floor.
Coach Mike Brown, thank you so much for joining. One more before we get you out of here. And like we said, it's been a pleasure so far. Another thing, we talked about the two position. Another thing a lot of people have been discussing is the four, and whether DeMar, who's played some four before, whether DeMar will play the four or Keegan Murray might slide into the four. What are you thinking things will look like? And obviously they could change when you get into camp and when you get the team together, but what are your initial thoughts on who might play where?
That's a great question, and right now, I'm not sure. Everybody knows Domas is going to start, Roxy's going to start, DeMar is going to start, Keegan's going to start, and again, Keon will probably fill in that fifth role right now, but we could easily fill that fifth role in with Trey Lyles and be a little bigger, which would slide DeMar to the 2 and Keegan to the 3, or we could fill it in with somebody else that's a bigger guy. So that's what training camp's all about. That's what the preseason is all about, to experiment with some things to see what fits, what makes sense, and hopefully by the regular season we'll have it figured out. If not, again, I look at this thing as a journey or a process. We don't have to have all the answers come day one or come opening night. You just hope you can come close to what you want to do and then build in the right direction together, as in climbing together.
There you go. I like that. I might need one of those. Good talking to you, Coach Mike Brown. As always, catch him at your local high school football game.
You never know where he's going to be.
Next week. We'll be right back with more Styles and Watkins.
Do not take apple cider vinegar before.
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
When is the best time to buy a new air conditioning system? Right now with Bell Brothers' end of summer clear out sale. You'll get up to $2,700 off a top-of-the-line AC system. Plus, no payments or interest for 1 year for qualified buyers. Call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or go online to thenosurpriseguys.com because we only have a limited number of new top-of-the-line AC systems. And when they're gone, this offer is over. Need more info? Call us. Estimates and second opinions are always free. So call now for up to $2,700 off a new premium AC system. And no payments or interest for 1 year. Plus, if you call now, we'll throw in your choice of a free smart thermostat or indoor air purification system. But you have to call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com. Remember, end of summer is the best time to buy and save on a new AC system. Thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers. 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Thanks to Styles and Watkins and Coach Mike Brown. You know what? Did we get Mike Brown? Have we talked to Mike Brown before?
Last year.
We did last year. That's right. Well, other than that, yeah. Well, we've never had him on the show, right?
I don't think so.
We usually get Monty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our guy. Not that Mike isn't, of course, but all right. DeMar DeRozan visited with us. It was a good conversation. Of course, it was a good conversation yesterday. We'll play that in about 13 minutes. Sean Salisbury is scheduled at 8, and then Devin Carter at 8:13 tomorrow. We'll pick out another of the others interview to grab and play. Also, we'll have Kevin Herter. You're not going to want to miss the Herter one. It's always good. And I know everybody, all the chatters.
And a surprise cameo on the Kevin Herter.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you know what? Let me see. How can I tease this? It was, I think it's our first ever media day live, same sex kissing of a player. Am I lying? Am I lying?
No.
Also, we found something out from Kevin Herter that person hadn't even known about.
Oh, yeah. We have breaking. We got a couple of breaking Kevin Herter newses other than the shoulder thing. So we'll get to all that tomorrow. Don't forget, I'm out Thursday, Friday. So it'll be these folks carrying the torch, and the show will magically be more professional and interesting. And then back on Monday for fun and hijinks.
Yeah,
a lot of fun
and hijinks.
Some hijinks. Yeah. In the meantime, it's 3 for Madness. Hey, question 1.
It's never low jinks.
No, it's always hijinks. Oh, speaking of hijinks, I do have this clip. I hope we can play it later. Anyone see Scoot Henderson at Media Day yesterday? Oh, woo! He was in a great mood. Oh my goodness gracious!
Speaking of which,
yeah,
what were your big takeaways from Media Day?
Media Day is always like the first day of school. Everyone's back and happy to be back. And here were my takeaways. This is the most talented roster we've had since 2002. That's my takeaway. Seeing the picture that's going around of, I think it was DeMontis, DeRozan, all the does. DeMontis, DeRozan, De'Aaron, Malik, and
DeMurray.
Yeah, all together. And of course, people say that's a starting lineup, and I don't believe that's what it will be, according to Mike Brown. But
could be the closing lineup.
Could be the closing lineup. You add in the Kevin Herters of the world, the Keon Ellises. We're sitting here with Devin Carter on the shelf, who will join at some point. There's a lot of talent on this team, dude. A lot of talent.
The 4 of those guys in Murray, Fox, Monk, Sabonis had the 4 best seasons last year, and you throw in DeRozan, who's a Hall of Famer. I think that's why a lot of people are excited about those 5. My stance has been if those 5 play, what's the league criteria, 65 or more?
Mm-hmm.
Why won't they be good? Now, there's it's not perfect.
Right.
There are flaws.
ESPN had them with 50, I think 49 or 50 wins and 4th in the West yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't either.
I could point out a few things that if injuries or things went wrong, or maybe the size becomes a bigger issue on a day-to-day basis, I could see that going the other way.
That's right.
But I could see them finishing with more wins. I mean, it's a really weird makeup in a sense that they're, to your point, I think they're as talented as they've been. I mean, that's a really good roster at the top end. And the top end is really to me, like, look, you want depth, and then every other player is going to be equally as important, I should say. But the heavy lifting is done by your studs.
That's right. And they've got studs.
They do.
Also previewing the Monty, what we did talk about with Monty in the time we had, you'll vouch for this. The worries I have about this team, I asked him directly.
You did?
Both the defensive issues and the lack of front court depth. We got into that a little bit as well. So looking forward to sharing that with you tomorrow. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
What is your favorite Dikembe Mutombo memory?
Also, we tried one interview we didn't get. We did request the beam. Too busy. We have yet to have a good sit down with the beam.
No.
And very bright individual, by the way. And they I guess Beam didn't have time for media days.
Not an early bird.
Nah, not at all. Doesn't like come out in the daytime. Favorite Dikembe Mutombo memory. There's a few. Like, there was a time where he was on Conan, and it came out that Dikembe was like a huge Three Stooges fan. And so Conan, this is a brilliant bit. Conan had a balloon filled with helium, and he gave it to Dikembe to suck in so that he could do a Curly impersonation. And I don't think Dikembe had ever done that before. So he sucks in the helium, and then he just like says, he doesn't even say anything. I think he just goes, and it's like, but in the Cookie Monster growl, and they both just lose it. Dikembe had a sense of humor that was fantastic, a smile that would light up a room. His back and forth with Michael Jordan about how Jordan never dunked on him till he did. Honestly, though, when I think of Dikembe Mutombo, I think of Dikembe Mutombo in his Nuggets uniform, flat on the ground, holding the basketball after they beat the Sonics and the shocked the world. And that huge smile on his face. Say that again, Chris.
He's got the Conan.
Oh, you have the Conan? Go ahead.
Say certainly. All right? Or nyuk, 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 whichever you prefer. You're well over 6 feet taller than me. I'm not going to squibble and quabble. Here we go. You have to suck it all in. You understand?
What was that noise?
I think Conan went on to say that he was imitating Curly, like getting shot or robbing a bank or something like that.
It sounds like one of those like toy sticks where you turn it around.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's true. He was just a wonderful human.
Yeah.
And he will be missed.
That, to me, all those are great. Also, just the signature finger wag. I mean, just how many people he got with that. And in a playful way, but also it amplified what his skill was one of the great shot blockers we've ever seen.
That is a big...
Also, the stuff that he does with the NBA Africa that he did and get that whole started, just bringing over a huge infrastructure that wasn't there before.
That's right. And an infrastructure that remains now that could be built on by guys like Joel Embiid, Masai Ujiri, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and others that have really taken on a big role over there. And that is a market, that is a continent, that is an area that absolutely, if the NBA needs to go anywhere, that basketball is the great unifier, and you can't underline enough the work he's done internationally. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
What is your favorite memory of Pete Rose as a player?
It's not a specific. I do remember watching him. It was very early memory of him breaking the hit record because they broke in like on live network TV for it. And of course, Marge Schott couldn't wait to get up and put her arm around him and be next to him, which was lame. I think if I remember right, they like drove a red Corvette onto the field. Like he got a car. I do remember that. You had they were playing the Padres, I think, and you had Padres coming up to congratulate him. It was a wonderful moment. In fact, I was watching it yesterday. And he was, tipping his hat to, and I almost got emotional watching it, just knowing that like that's the pinnacle of life for someone like Pete Rose. That's it right there. That moment, I can't imagine how many times he replayed that in his head. But honestly, my favorite memory of Pete Rose, Jason, is not one specific thing. It was his head first slides, his hustle, the fact that he was equipment manager's worst nightmare because he would at any time he played, his jersey was caked. And it's funny, another guy that isn't exactly the greatest human off the field, Lenny Dykstra. I found myself really drawn to the Pete Roses and the Lenny Dykstras of the world. Like, Lenny was your prototypical next generation Pete Rose hustler type, giant wad of chaw in his cheek. He just looked like this dirty little kid on the field, hustling all over the place. The amount of players in the modern day that were influenced by Pete Rose, and then those players influence players today as you go through the generations. I think it was just the way he approached the game, even as demolishing of the late great Ray Fosse, who I was smiling to myself earlier, like I wonder if Ray was waiting for him and just slugs him in the side of the head just for fun, and they had a little benches clearer up in heaven. He just played the game as if it was his last game and there was no tomorrow, and I appreciate that.
To speak to that, if you think about that play, that's I want to say 70, 71, 72, something like that from that's the All-Star game.
Right.
That Pete Rose blasts through Ray Fosse. Now we've got, coming. Here's a preview of a show coming up in February where nobody plays defense in the All-Star game. The NFL Pro Bowl is a wasted game. Like, this is a guy playing about as hard out as you possibly can in an All-Star game.
Right.
So, the fitting of the name Charlie Hustle. Now, some will debate me. Okay, hey, relax a little, but that's the only way he knew how to play. So that's to me what I think of for him. As a player, for sure.
It ain't the most politically correct thing to say, but it was a different time back then. After obliterating Ray Fosse in the 1970 All-Star game.
70, okay.
By the way, fractured and separated the shoulder, and really Fosse was never the same after that. After the game, he was asked about it, Pete Rose was, and he said, quote, "Nobody told me they changed it to girls softball between third and home."
Wow.
It's just Pete.
Yeah.
Good or bad is just Pete. That's just how he played, how he thought. And now, hey, some good All-Star news, by the way. Changing back to team uniforms next year.
Hey.
That'll fix the game. Although I do like it.
I do too.
We will take a break. When we come back, DeMar DeRozan from Media Day yesterday. DeMar joins us, and we talk about his book, we talk about his life, and we talk about his fit with the Sacramento Kings. Don't miss it. Coming up next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Tuesday. It's the first day of October. It's coming in hot as well. Expect the morning to be comfortable, so get outside and enjoy that time. By the afternoon, we're looking at a range of about 98 to 102 across the valley floor. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com.
now. It's real. He's in the jersey and everything. DeMar DeRozan. DeMar, I'm Dave. That's Jason. Thanks for sitting down.
Thank you for having me.
Other than, let's see, how cool is it to be in the video? I'm trying to think of what's the most common question you've been asked this offseason.
Probably that.
Probably that.
100%.
What I would imagine everywhere, whether it's a place like here, everywhere else. But you know what? You all and we know you've been asked that 50 million times. You also have a book out. It's on my it's on the dresser right now.
Appreciate it.
It's I've seen your book tours.
Mhm.
I've seen what you've been, how you've been. You really took a chunk out of your insides and laid it on paper for people to read.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough, but I felt like it was something just necessary. You know, I think, you know, we haven't really seen nobody, especially current players still playing, you know, kind of do something to that magnitude. And, you know, I was just, you know, I constantly been trying to just figure out ways to kind of keep the, you know, the movement moving forward, trying to break the stigma on mental health. And then seeing us more vulnerable than anything, I think means the world.
And I imagine by doing that, one, it helps you, but how many people do you think you've helped by doing that?
Yeah.
How have you gotten the feedback?
I mean, it's been amazing. Like, it's so much that comes from it that I never would have ever in my life imagined. You know, I'm always surprised. I'm always humbled by the response that I get and hearing other people's stories. So it's something that, you know, I will never get used to because it's always refreshing when you hear somebody that I helped.
I think it's interesting too, because if I wrote a book, if Jason wrote a book, we're doing it to get paid because we, you know, aren't rich.
Yeah.
You're rich. That's not why you did it. There's a deeper, more meaningful reason. So you're making yourself vulnerable in an incredibly, you know, let's just be honest, a masculine world you live in sports. You're bearing your soul, and it's not for money. I imagine it's, how much of it is a weight off your shoulders, but how much of it is, like you said, helping others? Yeah,
it's more so helping others than anything. And even me doing this book, even after the book tour I took, I even look back at myself with a lot of things that had opened up within me that I probably wouldn't even realize if I didn't do the book. That kind of had me even dig a little bit deeper, you know, and we need that. And I hope my book did that for other people as well. So it's not for money at all. I probably spend more money
Writing it,
a lot, writing it, you know, traveling, doing all the things I was doing. It was never for the money. It was always for the message that I was trying to get out there.
Yeah, actually, I'm interested in the process. How difficult was it to do the book? To actually
it was tough. You know, especially my summer times always was dedicated to just either my kids and working out. That's all I ever did, you know. So to kind of get out of my comfort zone in the sense of working on a book, being so tedious with that, going on a whole book tour, doing everything, it was a lot of stuff that was, you know, out my element, but it was something that I enjoyed. You know, it helped me see a lot of new things. And, you know, I just hope the message really come across and be helpful, not just for people, for other athletes as well, to be able to do the same thing.
So, DeMar, you're coming in. Harrison Barnes went out in the deal. And I think a lot of, and understandably, people are, when you're talking about the differences in the team, talking about your numbers, your position, rebounds, assists, steals. Somebody said this to me a couple weeks ago. They said you could count on one hand the people in the NBA that are on a level of a Harrison Barnes when it comes to character, and DeMar is one of them. How important is it to you beyond the regular stats? I mean, those are some big shoes to fill, but everybody thinks incredibly high of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you always kind of wanted in our business. You know, one, to be respected as a player, and two, to be respected as a man first and foremost. And I always try to give the utmost respect to everybody I come across. And I remember just my vets, how much they meant to me. And that kind of stuck with me coming into the league, and me more so always wanting to be that great teammate everybody could count on the floor and off the floor more than anything, because, you know, I've gained relationships that, you know, with basketball in the day, got friendships that'll last forever. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Who helped you most then when you started in Toronto?
Jared Jack, Reggie Evans, Jose Calderon, Chris Bosch, even though I was, there for a year, Hito Turkoglu. So I had some great older guys that really gave me a lot of knowledge on and off the court about a lot of things.
And if I'm not mistaken, when you signed here or the trade happened and didn't you talk to Harrison?
Yeah, I talked to Harrison. Yeah. Talked to him.
Here?
Yeah, about here. He talked to me. I talked to him about San Antonio if he needed something there. But Harrison definitely been a friend of mine for a while, for over 10 years, So that constant communication we always had. Whatever I needed, ask from him, it was always at the drop of a dime. Honestly, he'd get mad if I didn't text him back in time, So, yeah, so HB, that's my man.
We just got the wrap-up sign, so I guess we'll finish with this. Everybody's talked to you about fit. Everybody's talked to you about getting into the system.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to you as a native Sacramentan. Have you figured out a favorite place to eat? Have you begun to get to know the city yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Once training camp is over with, I'm definitely going to do that.
Are we a sushi guy?
I'm a food guy.
Okay.
I wouldn't even want to put it just towards one
Okay.
thing. I'm a food guy for sure. Yeah.
This is the farm to fork capital of the world. That's what they say.
Lots of
choices.
So yeah,
might be surprised. We're in America's breadbasket right here.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna figure it out for sure.
Yeah, help take us to the next level because this fan base is ready.
1,000%. That's the only reason why I came here.
You saw the love you got that day you brought.
For sure, yeah.
First time. That was in the summer.
That's in the summer. So I'm looking forward to it. One thing you can count on me is I'm gonna go out there and play every single night and try to win.
Welcome to Sacramento. Thanks for your time.
Thank y'all.
That's DeMar DeRozan, and we could have spent another hour with him.
Easily.
Talking non-basketball. Talking just life.
Yep.
He's fascinating. I want to address something on the text line, 916-339-1140. The Harrison Barnes glazing is nauseating at this point. Nobody cares. He was never consistent on the court. DeRozan's a huge upgrade. And listen, I want to say this without sounding like a condescending D-bag, but I don't know that I can. You either understand how the Kings work and understand beyond the statistics and you appreciate Harrison Barnes, or you don't. I fully get where people are coming from. Look, I was screaming for Harrison to be gone too because of some of the issues that whoever texted that brought up. It's a perfectly valid reason. But you have to understand what goes on beyond the statistics. The defensive assignments Harrison Barnes was given night after night. The matchups he was given night after night that don't show up. It's like trying to grade offensive linemen. You just have to get really deep. But beyond that, and why I brought it up with DeMar, you can't understate the role he had in the locker room. And it's almost like, I guess the example I would use, Jason, as an umpire in baseball, you don't know and appreciate how good an umpire is until an umpire makes a mistake. That's the only time we talk about umpires. You don't know and appreciate how good this locker room is until something bad happens. Think about what goes on in so many locker rooms and with so many teams throughout the NBA. This guy said that. Reports say that this is happening. These guys don't like each other, this, that. You can't understate, and that's just from talking to players, from talking to coaches, from talking to GMs. I'm not talking about on the air. I'm talking about the stuff we do off the air where they can't shut up, and I mean that in the best of ways, about Harrison Barnes guiding these guys, many of them young, through how to be a professional basketball player, not shooting and rebounding and all that. Road trips, health, fitness, how to conduct yourself. You notice on this team, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but you have players around the NBA who are like, oh, God, he's probably out a little bit too late, or, oh, I saw that Instagram photo of the thing. We have, like, none of those guys. Like, our most, air quotes, wild spirit is probably Malik Monk.
Yeah.
You know where you're going to find Malik Monk, and maybe he needs to cool it a little bit? On the 13th green. That's Malik's big vice, is golf. There's a character to a team one way or the other, and this team was more the character of Harrison Barnes than anyone else, and that's a good thing. I'm talking about the human being. I'm not talking about the guy that missed the shot against the Warriors that would have won the game. I'm not talking about the guy that was inconsistent. Those are all very valid concerns, but to not acknowledge that there is a huge locker room and chemistry void that losing Harrison creates, and to bring in DeMar, who has instant respect from everyone, who is the ultimate professional, who has the habits and the concern for his fellow teammates. I think that's a brilliant part of the trade that's not talked about enough. So it is glazing, but it's not the glazing you think. It's important to respect and understand the human that Harrison was, and a lot of the success the Kings have had is due to the habits and the aura he put out there. It's a real thing.
And for the people that like DeMar, who ultimately kind of had to agree to this trade and all that, part of it was because of what was established here.
That's
and
right.
Harrison was part of that. Yeah, he won't be now going forward. And DeMar, as he said in the interview, talk to him.
Yes.
Is close
Talk
to
to an outgoing guy who just got traded.
Yeah, so that's the respect he has for him as a veteran in this league. Who, Harrison Barnes had been around. He'd been on a championship team. He'd been in Dallas too, where he was the number one scorer there. He'd been here where at one point he was kind of the key piece. And as the years went on, that role kind of shrunk. But that doesn't diminish what he meant to this team overall and
That's
the different roles he had almost every season. And all things can be true. And I also think they upgraded in DeMar DeRozan.
Also, Harrison Barnes, last 3 seasons with the Kings, he only missed 5 games.
I mean, best ability is availability. Now, there were some other abilities I wish were there too at times. I get it. Harrison Barnes is not a sacred cow who is not allowed to be criticized. I certainly did my fair share. And it's difficult. I have a hard time sometimes. I had to check myself and be like, dude, you have to criticize him. I have these little internal you can't not criticize the guy because you like him. Right. That's bad. That's just bad doing the job. But shut up, Chris. I didn't know what to say.
Good talk.
Thank you. But he's not a sacred cow.
Right.
But at the same time, it is important to acknowledge what this team lost with him.
Yeah.
And also what they're replacing in DeMar.
That's it. I mean, I think for the better part of the last 2 years, people are like, they could just upgrade the small forward.
That's
right.
They did. They just did.
They did.
They did. Both on and off the floor. I don't know about upgrade off the floor, but
equal maybe.
Equal grade. Like you're there, as we said, count on one hand because everybody else is a downgrade or ain't Harrison Barnes. And by the way, Harrison Barnes is like the banker, we always said, right?
Yeah.
That ain't DeMar.
Right.
At least I don't think it is. But DeMar's the dude that he walks into a room and it is instant respect. Every player on that team looks up to DeMar DeRozan just like they did with Harrison Barnes. We'll take a break. Don't forget, by the way, coming up in just under an hour, 8:30, we will be giving away Tony Hinchcliffe tickets to see the recording of his impressively edgy, it says here, podcast up at Thunder Valley. Also, Sean Salisbury at 8 o'clock. When we come back, Farhan Zaidi out. Buster Posey is in. We'll talk about that next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry. You never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
You want to be prepared for some things that you just don't know are going to happen.
Yes.
You don't know when they're going to happen, why they're going to happen, if they're ever going to happen. It's almost like insurance. You just want to make sure you're ready to go if a situation arises that you're not ready for. And then when it does happen, what do I do? Who do I call? Where do I go? Well, let me tell you about SacLegalDefense.com. That's the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He is downtown. He's in our community. He's basically just one of us. He likes to be on the river. He's got raising his family here, likes to golf, and likes to defend people that need help and represent people that need help in Sacramento. Maybe there's a wrongful termination case. That stuff happens all the time.
He likes to defend? He play the 4.
Maybe.
Okay.
I bet if he was asked.
Just asking.
I mean, would he say no? I don't. He's there to
help.
He's
all in for Sacramento.
Yes, he's going to go to bat for you and defend you and help you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a situation where you're in an auto accident. Those things are unfortunate, but they do happen. You need some representation. Maybe something happened in the past that it's followed you around. You'd like to move on from it. An expungement, he can help with that too. So there's lots of different things he can help with, and just kind of a name you need to know and just to have in your memory, and a phone number that where do I call? Well, that's 916-304-9187. Again, the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. SacLegalDefense.com is the site. You can find out more of the things that they could do and help you out with. But the number again, 916-304-9187.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The San Francisco Giants, according to Fangraphs, and you can go a few other places. Look, we talk all the time and make fun of draft grades, but when it comes to ranking the minor leagues, a lot of that is based on not just future potential, but also how they're doing, prospects in different levels of the minor league system. The San Francisco Giants, as of right now, ranked 28th out of
100?
No, that's
1,000?
Out of 30.
Oh,
yeah. That's not.
Who's worse?
The Astros and the Angels.
The Angels are last,
dead last,
and they're a bad team.
They're a bad team. They're not great. By the way, number 1, the Rays. Number 2, the White Sox.
There's hope.
There is hope. Number 3, the Red Sox. Number 4, the Dodgers. Number 5, still the Baltimore Orioles.
How are the Dodgers for?
When you look at teams like the Rays, the Dodgers, the Orioles, and it's like not only are they churning out all these prospects, but it's like they still have them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, with the Rays, it's because they churn out these great prospects and then trade, for more prospects.
Yeah,
I get that, but you got to tip your cap to the Dodgers. I mean, you really have to tip your cap. They are a World Series contender every year, and also manage to have a farm system that is just routinely top 5. That's just not the San Francisco Giants. And not only did the Giants have, and we've said it many, many times, bad teams, and by bad I mean below average and below 500, boring teams.
Right.
I always use the A's as an example. The A's were by definition a worse team than the Giants. They were worse. They had a worse record. Far more entertaining in my opinion than the San Francisco Giants. Now, here's the difference, Jason Ross. I mean, one of the big differences, the Oakland A's payroll, $47.2 million. The Giants, $188 million. That is a top 10 payroll. When you combine a top 10 payroll, a bottom 5 farm system, a boring team, and a team that has a terrible or at least below average record, you have failed in just about every capacity, not to mention you can't land the big one. Maybe that was his problem. Maybe that wasn't his fault, but you can't land the big one. Blake Snell, great signing. Matt Chapman, great signing. I'm not trying to be biased here. A little bit of that was helping out Scott Boras.
Sure.
With the Boras special there.
Yeah.
And Snell is probably almost certainly gone. Farhan Zaidi might be a nice guy. I keep saying that. He is a terrible president of baseball operations.
You got your wish.
I got my wish.
So he's gone?
He's gone.
Is it all good now?
No,
Everything good?
No, it's not.
But that's the start, right? That's step one.
Look, it's like anything. If you have a company, like for us, we love our program director. He's a good guy, Jose. But let's say Jose was running us into the ground. Okay, well, the first step there is fire Jose. The second step is you got to replace him with somebody. Right. And then the third step is that somebody's got to be the right guy that makes the right decisions to rebuild the damage that Jose did. Now, apply that to baseball. You brought in Buster Posey. great. A lot of Kings fans who happen to be Giants fans are understandably having a little PTSD right now. Hey, see, this sounds familiar. Beloved, Hall of Fame, ex-player, adored in the community, comes in to help save the franchise and restore previous chemistry. Now, I don't know who the baseball equivalent of Marvin Bagley is, but one thing you have to remember is Buster Posey isn't just showing up. Buster Posey has been very quietly and sometimes not so quietly behind the scenes handling some things. You could tell Zaidi was probably on his way out when it came out. It was leaked, by the way. Now we can go back, and we talked about this when it was leaked, Jason. Now we can go back, and I think we can confirm what our suspicion was. When they leaked, and it was the Giants that leaked it, that Buster Posey had stepped in the Matt Chapman negotiations and worked out that extension with Chapman and with his people and with Chapman directly. Jason, that was an absolute directed leak from a Giants organization that had already made a decision to fire Farhan Zaidi. That was an absolute directed leak to the press so that they could illustrate today that Buster Posey has already been involved. And, oh, by the way, he got the thing done that Zaidi couldn't. This is how those things work, as you know. Now we get to see if Posey's going to also, by the way, minor leagues are bottom 5. You better handle the scouting department. You better get new people in there. You need to surround yourself. Now that you've lost Zaidi, who speaks nerd, Posey doesn't speak nerd. Okay, I'm not saying Posey's not intelligent, but he ain't the analytics guy that Zaidi is.
Dork.
You better surround yourself with some dorks.
I wonder what he also thinks is, priority one. I mean, that's huge to build your farm system and to have the right scouting system. But just on the major league level, what he sees, look, he didn't hire Bob Melvin. Is he good with Bob Melvin? I think Bob Melvin's a good manager, but I don't know what Buster Posey thinks of him. And then you just look all the way through. Like, I think of Logan Webb as a key piece to that team. Maybe Buster, I wouldn't even say wouldn't think of it that way, but he also might think, hey, the best way to get better faster or to really build is to move someone like Logan Webb. I don't think they're going to do that, but you just don't know when you got a new set of eyes on it what priority one will become. And that's actually kind of exciting, I would think, for Giants fans, because it's not going to stay in the same realm of kind of the way Zaidi was doing it.
Well, I think that's interesting. What is priority one? I would say priority one is probably getting a handle on your minor leagues and your prospects, your scouts, your draft. You got to start from
which is how Buster lived it, right?
100%.
That's where the success came with the 3 titles.
That is 100%. When you look at the Giants and them winning those titles, they've had 3 different iterations of really good teams in my lifetime. The first generation was they drafted Robbie Thompson. Robbie Thompson finished second to Todd Horrell in the Rookie of the Year voting. Then they bring in Will Clark, who would have won Rookie of the Year had he not smashed into Andres Galarraga at first base. You surrounded that team had prospects. You brought in Roger Craig, Al Rosen. You built from the bottom. You had some leftovers, sure, but eventually it was that hum baby team. You bring in Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent. You traded Matt Williams, who was incredibly popular, for a guy, Jeff Kent. That actually ended up being a very good trade. You bring in Bonds, and obviously we know what that happened. They didn't win a title, but hey, they had some really good years, including a 103-win year right before the wild card started, where they didn't make the playoffs behind the Atlanta Braves. Then you fast forward and you look at Buster Posey, and you look at Brandon Crawford, and you look at all the rest of the homegrown prospects that came up for the Giants, whether it's a Matt Cain or a Jonathan Sanchez or whomever it may be, that won them those 3 titles. I think that's where Buster Posey's head is going to be at, much like your Yankees back in the day. Everybody always, look, the Yankees spend a ton of money. They're the evil empire, this, that, whatever. Well, guess what? They also had Bernie Williams. They also had Derek Jeter, and they also had Jorge Posada, and a lot of homegrown Andy Pettit, homegrown talent that they added other talent to. That's the formula. The Dodgers use the same thing. Yeah, they spend a ton of money. They've also got a lot of homegrown talent they used as well. You have to have the homegrown talent, but you also have to be able to add the accoutrements or maybe the superstar to that talent to be able to win. And the Giants haven't been able to do any of that.
Yeah, and I think in that realm of what they currently have, like we said during this year, like you could kind of squint, look at it and go, well, if you go with Logan Webb to Snell to Robbie Ray, like, okay, and you get enough hitting, you could see how that could work. Mm-hmm. Now, they didn't get the consistent health of Robbie Ray, certainly when he was back, and Snell. Logan Webb was solid as always, and the hitting was not there.
No,
the lineup wasn't strong. So there's a lot of work to do. And even with that, look, it wasn't a good year, but 79 wins. I mean, it's not completely broken, but it's going to take some work and some good moves here to get this team back going.
They do have a couple of big prospects that they've mishandled at the AAA level playing in Sacramento. Patrick Bailey may not tear the cover off the ball, but he's arguably, if not inarguably, the best defensive catcher in the league. I was looking at some metrics yesterday. The amount of strikes that he has made strikes through framing leads the league. His ability to throw out runners, like defensively, he adds more runs or subtracts more runs on the good side than any catcher in the major leagues, and that's fine. Chappie's a great piece. Obviously, Logan Webb's a great piece. I love Grant McCrae. Elliot Ramos is fantastic, or could be fantastic. They have some pieces there. They do. They have the makings of a good youngster veteran mix, but you just. I remember when Chris, third baseman Cubs, came here as a free agent.
Chris Bryant.
When Chris Bryant signed with the Giants, there was an article about his first few days and the lead up, and he's talking about how when he got to the hotel room for the very first time after coming to the Giants, that there was not only his jersey, but there was a jersey in the sizes of his wife and his kids, and that one of the reasons why he was so excited about coming here was the culture of the Giants and the way the organization was run and how everybody was. And I think they've lost that with the Giants, there needs to be that extra. They are a foundational tentpole franchise in Major League Baseball. They have money. They have a beautiful park. They have a good fan base. They've got to feed all of that. They've gotten away from it. So hopefully Buster Posey can do what isn't easy a lot of times for ex-players, really good players, is that he can surround himself with the best and the brightest and bring that feel back to San Francisco. Yeah. We'll take a break. When we come back, Sean Salisbury, I think, will join us. And Devin Carter also joined us yesterday. We'll replay that, update you on his injury and more at Media Day. We'll get to that right after this.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Deebo Samuel.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power Inn Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
A woman not only knows what she's going to wear, she knows what you're not going to wear.
Rob Schneider.
You're not wearing that.
Coming to Hard Rock Live Sacramento this Friday.
You're not wearing that. I know I'm not. I'm just I just tried it on, just to kind of warm up the idea of clothes, and then.
Don't miss Rob Schneider. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Joining us right now, and we got a lot to get to. The one, the only, the lovely, the talented, the muscular, the young-looking. I'm just buttering him up.
Wow, you are.
Sean Salisbury. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, guys. What's happening?
How are you, brother? How was your show?
It was awesome. Thank you. A lot to talk about, and obviously with the Astros day game today, and Texans, and Pete Rose, and Dikembe Mutombo, so a lot to cover, man. So some of it good, some of it sad. Unfortunate, but
I want to start with Pete Rose. I have a feeling you and I kind of land in the same spot here. I could be wrong. I started out with the disclaimer. Look, Pete had issues off the field. Okay, he had the gambling, but then there was the stuff that I have a little bit of a bigger problem with. But here's where I'm landing, Sean. I want to see where you're at. I was telling Jason earlier, Bart Giamatti, the late Bart Giamatti, and Faye Vincent, but he had a lifetime ban. He was banned for life. His life is over. I get it. Put him in the Hall of Fame. He's the greatest hitter of all time. He broke the record. He's Charlie Hustle. Baseball has all kinds of stains on it. I don't need him. I don't need to acknowledge that he was an angel off the field. He may not even be where we think he is right now, if you get my drift, but he's one of the greatest baseball players of all time.
Yeah, and I take this another level emotionally. He's been a good friend of mine for a long 3 decades.
Gotcha.
And one of the greatest moments I've had in my top 5, maybe top 3, is he and Tony Perez. When I was doing television, we did simulcast television TV for BN. He came into the studio, was supposed to do a segment or two. He and Tony Perez, we sat down and they sat for 2 hours and talked baseball and life and Joe DiMaggio stories. It was phenomenal. And I've spent many a year times with some laughs with Pete Rose. And listen, we can say all we want about off the field stuff. A lot of people go through it. And I just believe in death. I reserve, trying to pick somebody apart. I mean, enough people have done that. And Pete knows what his weaknesses were. And we all know that, well documented. And he wasn't perfect by any stretch. Damn near perfect baseball player, though. I'll tell you that. So he's a friend. And I understand what all some of the naysayers about the gambling when it says on a clubhouse, door, you're not allowed to gamble, and ban them for life. But we have murderers on the street who are let out early that serve their time, or you can be banned from something, but second chance or second opportunity. I think he served his time when it comes to the gambling part of it. I do. And so, we're giving people chances a lot of times, and now in his death. And I think it's sad. I would have loved to hear Pete Rose's Hall of Fame speech.
Yep.
I would have. So I understand people are like, well, I don't like him for this or that, or he was, arrogant, or, wasn't remorseful when it came to gambling. All those things. We all have, listen, man, who of us hasn't had something silly, maybe not as big as what Pete Rose did, but we've all been mistakes. And when they die, I usually like to point out the good stuff. Pete Rose treated me like gold. He was awesome to me. Some funny stories, great stories. But as a baseball player, you tell me 80% of the kids from my era, when they mention names, one of the first names they mention how to play baseball is Pete Rose. And most of the adults too, and running and hustling and playing different positions. He and Gwen and Wade Boggs, in my mind, are the best small ball players we've ever had at the plate. And, obviously to Ted Williams and the Willie Mays when it comes to being able to power and average. But Pete Rose, one of the greats of all time. So if people choose, and I understand if they don't like Pete, but he was good to me, and that's how I judge him. And none of us are air free from mistakes. And some of the things he did still is, I know what you're talking about. When some of the things that he'll be judged for that are beyond our pay grade.
Yep.
but as a player, no better, belongs on him. He's part of baseball's story, guys.
Yeah.
Even if it's, you put a plaque in there that tells why he was banned for so long. Explain it. Tell it. It's part of it. But you're not a museum or a shrine if Pete Rose isn't in it. You're just not, because he is. I mean, come on, man. His hit record's never going to be touched. So, but I understand. Well, life means life. Well, if that was the case, then nobody'd ever get a second chance in life. Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I appreciate his friendship, and I choose to talk well about a guy who's going to be buried soon.
Sean, I don't know if you guys ever talked about it, but we know he wanted to be in, and obviously, as you said, I mean, the records go without saying. Did he think he would get in?
No. Yeah. When at the time I had my conversation with Pete, he did not think he would. He holds out hope, and I know this as much as as tough as Pete Rose is, and he can be very blunt. He was very blunt. But there's a sensitivity. I think at times, and it was some self-inflicted, because he's a very, he knows hitting, and he knows he was good at what he did. But I think there's a sense, there's a part of Pete Rose that from where I sat in the conversations I had with him, there's some sensitivity about it. He tried not to lead on that it bothered him. Sensitive, he'd come back with, when the Ohtani stuff was going on, Pete always has comments, and Pete loves sports. Nobody loved their sport. I'm just talking about playing it. Pete Rose loved baseball like a 12-year-old loves Little League. I mean, it's incredible. But I've asked him that, and it's a great point by you. And he knows he belongs in. He didn't think he was going to get in, but I will tell you this: he did admit. He said, "I know I'm a Hall of Famer. I just won't have the bust in it." Was his quote to me off the air. And he did, and we know that he's a Hall of Famer by the standards of Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. Roger Clemens Hall of Fame. They're just not in the Hall of Fame. If that makes any sense. But yeah, he didn't think he was going to get in because figuring that it would have probably happened sooner after all the time, and that he had been kicked out of baseball. But I think baseball, people who love baseball and know baseball and want baseball, know he belongs next to the greats of baseball because he earned it.
Sean Salisbury with us, just switching to NFL football real quick. I think when we talked in the preseason, we both had the Chiefs and Vikings as the last remaining undefeated teams, led by Sam Darnold. Hey, look, not only did you play for the Vikings, not only did you play under center, but you understand a little bit about quarterback development, as you've been incredibly involved with developing youngsters. Sean, when you look at Sam Darnold, does that kind of speak to the whole the thing we've talked about, I think, a lot over the years on this show, the immense amount of pressure, whether you go the Manning-Aikman route, whether you go the Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love route where you're carrying clipboards, but this pressure on these guys, and a guy like Darnold, is it just as simple as the dude's younger than Joe Burrow? We talked about that last week, which is crazy, and maybe now he's finally with the right organization that can actually use his talents.
Dave, we put a time clock and expect everybody to be on the same one. Mm-hmm. But in life, I mean, the 12-year-old may act 16, and then the next 12-year-old may act 8. I mean, we don't. People mature different on the field, off the field. And I know it sounds cheesy and elementary, but it's true. And regardless if you're on the side of, hey, make the first rounder sit, no matter who the veteran is, and let him learn, or you're on the side that I'm on, that if he's as good as the veteran and the veteran's making rookie mistakes, you play him. And I drafted him. And I did my due diligence because I know he can handle failure and success. So regardless of where you sit on, development matters, and coaching matters, and having good players around you matters. Listen, I can take a lot of quarterbacks that that would have been better with better players. And I can take quarterbacks that, Geno Smith is a good example. A guy, he got with the right coach, the right system, where he fit and felt comfortable and felt at home, and he's thriving. He was a journeyman. You see it probably more often than we think, but with Sam Darnold and guys like him. Listen, the Jets and Carolina, not good football teams, and Sam was too big and wanted to be the hero. And I mean, not out in public, but that pressure that you were talking about, Dave, of to have to succeed early, and we compare them all. Well, Mahomes in his second year, or Stroud as a rookie, and these guys that just play great, or the way the kid in Washington is playing right now, and Jaden Daniels, he ain't playing anything like a rookie, but why are my expectations on Bo Nix the same as they are Jaden Daniels? Different coaches, different system, different expectations for them in their cities. So, yeah, Sam Darnold, you get with a good coach, a guy who gets offense, you're in a system you're comfortable with, and he's learned now that he doesn't have to make every play. I think that's a big part of it. He's being more patient. You watch him, he overcomes an interception faster, and he's not throwing it into crowds where he says, I got to make this play. He doesn't have to. He's getting through his progressions, and whether it took 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years, or 6 years, well, he just didn't. And now what does that mean? We're going to get him until he's 42, and he's going to fresh legs until he's 42. I think it's absurd that we expect everybody to come in and play like a 5-year veteran who's taking your team to the Super Bowl. Look at Brock Purdy. Nobody expected him to even make a roster as the seventh last guy drafted. And now, hell, he's keeping them afloat and playing great football at the top of the league and passing again. So the maturity thing, we got to be patient. Everybody's not the same. Some in a year, some in 2 years, some in 5 years, some on the Geno Smith or the Sam Darnold train where it's just a little later. But don't mistake the fact that good coaching and good players around you in a comfortable system do matter.
Is Baker Mayfield doing some of that too?
Yeah, he is. But the difference between, I think, the intrigue we had with Sam Darnold, and even though Baker was the first pick, the Sam Darnold, the intrigue we had within the arms, the arm talent with Baker Mayfield, he came in as a rookie and had success. 19 touchdowns and nine picks, I think. So unlike Sam Darnold, who didn't have much success, flashes, but Baker played pretty good as a rookie. Then the next year wasn't very good. Third year, I believe it was the third year we had him in the playoffs. They got beat, I think, when Chad Henne came off the bench. I think that was his third year. Improved again. Then the fourth year, he reverted back to his second year. So the odd years were good to Baker, and then he left and floundered around. That's exactly right. He's got in a system he's comfortable. He's probably matured and learned some lessons about how to approach a team, how to approach celebrations, how to approach your preparation, all these things that, when you're brash and confident and you've been a walk-on, it feels like Baker Mayfield's gone back to his walk-on mentality of, man, I'm a survivor. This is how I was at my best when I have the walk-on mentality, not the superstar mentality. And in the process of having that grind that built him into the first pick of the draft, he's learned and becoming a guy you're validating now. They're winning. He's playing good football, had a great game last week. And so, again, but he had, unlike Geno or Sam Darnold or some of the guys, he had early success where Darnold and those guys did not. And it would have been easy for those guys to disappear, but they stuck with it. And Baker's confident enough to fight through those and knows he belongs. And he's matured as well. But he saw early success when he was with Cleveland, which I think helped him understand what that looked like. And he saw a lot of failure, which I think he's matured from.
Last thing, Sean, I know we're out of time. I'm sure you've gone over this, but I want to play this for you, and I'm gonna put you on hold so you can hear it. This is Tom Brady during the broadcast talking about Baker Mayfield, wanting to have some fun.
I said, quote, they wanted me to come in, be myself, bring the joy back to football for guys who weren't having as much fun. It's funny because you've made this environment for me very stressful up here in the booth, so I understand where he's coming from.
Do you feel it?
No.
Feel the stress? No. Well, I was going to say, I thought stressful was not having Super Bowl rings. So there was a mindset of a champion that I took to work every day. This wasn't daycare. If I wanted to have fun, I was going to go to Disneyland with my kids.
All right, let me bring that. You can answer that question a hell of a lot better than us and our fat asses on the couch that never played the game. But what did you think when you heard that?
I could sure as hell tell you, I wouldn't have said what Baker said, knowing I'm talking about the GOAT. That's obviously that. But you know what I do love? It's banter, and I think it's harmless. But Brady's response is priceless. Not Disneyland. I take my kids, and oh, by the way, Super Bowl rings take stress away. So, yeah, having fun. I lean to the Brady side, but I kind of like to dig both ways. And here's what I do know. Not everybody can handle the intensity of those, like the Belichicks and the Bradys. But I got news for you. They'll still hug him every day because they're wearing, because of him, or in large part because of him, their 7 Super Bowl rings for those who are part of it in Tampa and New England. So I love the banter, though. It made for good fun. Yep. And it still shows you Baker's got some guts now. But Tom Brady's not missing any opportunity to let you know he's still Tom Brady. Okay, make no mistake. There you go.
Love it on both sides. Sean Salisbury joins us each and every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good rest of your week.
No problem. Thanks. You guys too. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
That's Sean Salisbury. We'll take a break. When we come back, Devin Carter, Kings rookie, maybe the biggest downside going into the season. I sure would love to see him suit up and play. It's going to be a while, but we get a chance to get to know Devin a little bit, and you can too. Coming up next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
Have you heard you can listen to your favorite news podcasts ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Enjoy shows like The Daily, Up First, and Consider This, available ad-free on Amazon Music. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free. That's amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Carmichael Dave has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
Yeah, I just got started. So,
I
mean, this is like my third station.
What have you done so far?
The NBA portraits,
Okay.
and then just those two behind me.
Oh, gotcha.
That'd be cool if it was actually portraits where they paint you like in the 1700s. So what's to say here about Friar fans? Are they loud, soft, this, that? You're pretty vocal there. That's a group, man.
No, they're the best fans in the country, in my opinion. Like, they up there. Like, the Kansas is and what other colleges that got good fans. They're up there, well, in my opinion.
So I don't know how much you've heard or you knew already being an NBA fan about Sacramento and the way they are with their players, but it sounds like you're going from an insane fan base to an insane fan base.
Yeah. No, I've definitely heard a lot. I mean, I was here 2016. I used to live here, so I kind of got a little bit of experience, but it's definitely ramped up a lot more over the years as the team has just progressively gotten better and better. So I'm definitely excited to play in front of the fans and just show them why I'm here.
So what's the strangest, oddest story you can tell us about Friar fans? I mean, are they following you? Like, what's going on? What are they doing? What makes them so crazy?
It's just like on Twitter, it's like they just troll people. Like,
yes, they do.
They just have like a bunch of like fake accounts that just they'll just go on there and troll people. But I'm here for it, and I know I'm Friar community, so I'm gonna support them. Like, as long as it's like nothing crazy, but like I'm always gonna support Friars. So shout out to PCBC.
So with the family connection, obviously, here, and you just mentioned you were here about what would be 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Your dad was here as assistant.
Yeah.
I know you weren't here for the longest time, but was there anything you remembered place to eat? Something
we used to go to Benihana's, but it's closed now. Yeah, I was looking for when I came out here, but it was like they're like, nah, it's closed now. So I was like, dang. But I went to Creekview Middle School.
Okay,
and then I played all my games at Harwood Palace. So I was always over there.
Yep.
Yeah, I was always over there. YBA.
Gus Armstead's place goes way back. Now they got some games over there, man. Like, you being drafted coming here. I wouldn't say, I don't want to go as far as say it's a return home, but at the same time, having some familiarity with the fans, having familiarity with the city a little bit, it's probably a little bit easier on a rookie than, if you were going to wherever the hell.
Yeah. Especially like Coach Doug Christie, Miguel, the equipment manager. Like, so, I mean, they all remember me from when I was here the first time. So, kind of just felt like I belonged here. So it was definitely a perfect fit for me.
Well, how are you? How are you feeling? How's the health? How's the recovery?
I'm feeling great. Yeah, I'm feeling great for sure. Yeah.
Well, let me just ask you before we've been doing this a long time. I get it. Before we start talking about how you're feeling, I mean, I know Jason just asked. Do you want to talk about how you're feeling? Because we know some athletes don't.
No, I'm cool.
Okay, so take us through everything, if you would, or as best you can. The injury, how it came about, and then well, let me just start with that. How did everything go down where you got hurt? Where? Yeah, like what was the whole deal with when you realized what was going on?
I didn't know it was torn.
Okay.
So I obviously had to do like the pre-draft imaging and everything, and I was just told it was torn. So I'm assuming it was torn like throughout the season.
And you played with that.
Yeah.
So when you hear that, is there, I don't want to say fear, but like when you first heard tear, is there a little, I don't know, butterfly, or, I mean, that's got to be kind of freaky, right?
I mean, not really, because I didn't feel it.
Okay.
If I felt it like bad, then yeah, like I kind of felt like a little like pinch, but it's like,
yeah,
I'm thinking like, oh, I'm just sore from lifting weights or like playing the Big East, just physical every night. So I'm just like pushing it to the side, like not expecting anything out of it. You know, I'll put my icy hot on and Advil and I'll be cool.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just like just going with the flow, basically, was what I was doing.
Yeah. So was there thought that you might play with it? I mean, because you already had played with it, or was it like, hey, look, let's clean this up?
Honestly, I'm just a tough individual, I'd like to say. So I would have been happy to play with with it like that, because I didn't feel it throughout the season. So no, I think it was a smart decision though, you know, because it could only get worse. So if we fix it now, you know, come when I'm back, I'll be good 100%.
So I think, apologies if I'm wrong here, I think the statement said you'll be reevaluated in February, I think. Was that it? Which,
no, I'm not too sure when I'll be reevaluated.
oh, okay, maybe that's just what they said as a placement, but you're going to miss a good chunk of time. So it's kind of like you're not redshirting like in college,
right?
But like, are you going into this now like treating it kind of like a little mini red shirt where it's like, all right, I'm crash course in the NBA. I may not be able to be on the floor, but I got to soak it all up.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at it as just an opportunity to learn, you know, especially as a rookie coming in. We got vets, DeMar, Fox, we got Sabonis. So just trying to learn as much as I can from them as fast as I can. So by the time I'm back, I'm 100% ready. So
gotcha.
Do what I got to do. So
You're pretty NBA savvy already with obviously being around the league, your dad connected to for so long. But is there been a vet here that's kind of taking you under his wing? Or is that coming?
I mean, I feel like that's kind of coming because not everybody's been at the arena, you know. We haven't really had like mandatory workouts for real outside of the rookies. So, I mean, that is definitely gonna happen. I'd probably say if anybody right now is Malik, you know, just talking to him, and then off the court he's cool. So
we heard the comps on you and the analysis at the draft. But I always find it's best to get the analysis and comps from the actual individual. You're coming onto a team that's got, whether it's D-Fox and Monk, you know, guys like Keon Ellis, defensive studs. You know, what are you bringing to this team? You know, what is your calling card?
I think that I do a little bit of both, a lot of it of both. I say, you know, I'm just a person who's always gonna make the winning plays, get the winning stops. You want to guard the other team's best player, pick them up full court, turn them, you know, take some of the pressure off of Fox and, you know, DeMar so they don't have to guard the best player, you know. Even though Foxy likes that challenge, but I could definitely help him out a little bit in that area. And then even on the offensive end, I mean, my shooting's improved so much. I can space the floor. I'm a great driver, I feel like, and especially rebounding. You know, I'm gonna crash the glass and then you know, get us in our offense, or if I'm on the ball, off the ball, get us in our offense, get people the shots that they need to get the shots from, and also be able to be a attack threat. So
is there someone you grew up watching that now that you're in the league, you can't wait to be on the court, either guarding, playing against, playing with? I mean, kind of an NBA moment like that?
No, I mean, I'm just ready to guard and play, compete. That's just who I am. I'm not really a fanboy, you know, especially because my dad played for so long. I was always around. So I never really got like the starstruck type of feel from the game. So
final play of the game, 10 seconds left, clock's winding down. Are you nailing the 3-point shot to win the game? Or in your dream, are you shutting down the other team's star player with a quick pick steal and winning the game that way? Which way do you prefer?
I'd rather get a stop, honestly. I just feel like that's like this just solidifies, you know, in the clutch, you know, you're the person to go to, and guard them. So I mean,
that's
gotta do
interesting
that.
because
Yeah,
I think a lot of people would take. In fact, most people would take the last second shot.
Yeah, but coaches want that stop.
That's right.
Yeah,
Got to get
I
you on
mean,
the floor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, especially when I play as a rookie, if you guard, you're gonna be able to, make it hard for the coach to not play you. So
right. Well, welcome to Sacramento.
Yeah,
hopefully you're back sooner rather than later. But got a feeling with the pedigree with your dad and everything, you're gonna be soaking all that up IQ wise. And I hope you get to. I hope at one point we'll be sitting here on media day and you'll be like, man, those Friar fans are really good. But I just, it was
fans.
Yeah. Either way, there's room for both, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
right.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Forget.
Given. No, it's a play action. Purdy going to roll left, throw for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. He has the hat trick tonight, a career high. 3 touchdown catches for George. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and LifeLock is here to elevate your protection game. Using the same simple password across all your accounts, that's risky. While updating your passwords to be more unique is a good start, true peace of mind comes with LifeLock. LifeLock doesn't just alert you to suspicious activity, but monitors for more uses of your personal info and will fix identity theft issues that arise, guaranteed, or your money back. Secure your identity today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast. With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
It's a myth to think you don't play golf well enough to get fitted for golf clubs. The professionals at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio would argue that playing the game with golf clubs properly fitted to your body and swing characteristics is the best way to improve your game and have more fun on the golf course. With a professional staff of fitters, all the major brands of equipment, and cutting-edge technology featuring TrackMan, the indoor-outdoor Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio is worth a look. See for yourself, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway. Schedule your fitting at 916-808-2531, 808-2531.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Thanks to Devin Carter for joining us. That was fun.
Yes. I wish he was ready to go. Let's go. I wish they were all healthy.
I know.
We were just talking about that in the break.
I really do want to see him on the floor. I don't care if we have 17 guards. I want to.
I think he would help.
I think he would too. And also, if he helps enough, and it makes it a little easier to, Monty doesn't like imbalance.
Yeah. I mean, here's my optimistic thought on him and what this could be, and we'll see how it goes during the year, because I know you brought up even in the interview like what the release had said when he'd be reevaluated. I don't know that that's pretty far along, so we'll see where it ultimately is. But I hope that when he's up and running, maybe it'll feel like he was like a trade deadline acquisition. I don't know. Yeah. It might be sooner, but it's like, oh, really? He's now up and running and going and in the rotation. You're like, well, it's kind of like they added a player at the deadline when other people may have made a trade. That's my optimistic hope, but I don't know. I don't know when he'll return, when it'll be, but I think the things he can do will help the team. That's for sure.
It's just so difficult when you're a rookie and you're going to miss camp, and now you're going to try to come and fit in.
Yeah.
But whatever, we'll see. Also, shout out to Scotty the Body Marsh.
Yes,
he is the king of the game
of golf.
What do you got there?
Look what he brought me.
Oh, you can bring that tomorrow when we talk to Coach.
Yeah,
Plow?
I'm gonna wear it. I don't
Shredville.
I don't really wear hats to work anymore, Jason.
Not with that head of hair.
But I do have the Shredville hat.
Yeah.
So I will be
a big win this last weekend.
Big win. Yeah. Why are they only ranked 11?
Something like that in one of the polls.
Dude, your one loss is to Cal,
and they just beat top 5 Idaho.
Yeah. Jason and I also got an offer, but can't do it.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Ride or die for the area. That's fine. I mean, we do count. I count Davis. Davis to me is greater Sacramento area.
Yeah.
Also, time is 8:30. Okay. Shout out to my wife. Set the screen. As you know, this is her first year coaching.
Shout out to my wife. Now let me make sure she's not listening right now.
Yeah, how's the coaching going?
So, it's junior high. She coaches junior high girls, and then she's assistant on varsity girls for the high school.
Okay.
And they have had some challenges on her team this year.
Okay.
I think she has 8 players, and it's a little school. It's a little baby tiny school, and they're junior high kids. But they had a defeat yesterday. They came up short.
Okay.
A little short.
That happens sometimes. How short? Little?
The margin of victory it was back and forth, honestly, up and down.
Oh, a buzzer beater?
But no, they pulled away a little bit towards the end, and they ended up they edged my wife's team by 52. And so, she's
was it 148 to 96?
Jason, I'm going to choose to not say the score on the air. I don't know why I feel like that's the line I don't want to cross. And I say this, I know I have fun with my wife sometimes on the show and, talk a little. Honestly, she's so into this. She works so hard.
Yeah.
She does her full day of work, comes home. I'm always seeing her watching like YouTube videos and learning and taking notes. And, she's starting from scratch. She played basketball in high school.
Basketball YouTube videos, not like just.
No, yeah, she's not watching like pranks and, cat videos like me.
Not a cat.
And she's really thrown herself into this. And she comes home and, especially in that like that, she's just so frustrated. First off, she's very competitive. Secondly, she asks, am I just letting these kids down? Are they not impressed? Is it on me? I'm doing everything I can, throwing everything at it. And I try to look, I've never coached basketball, but I try to tell her what I think a coach would say is, look, I guarantee you, every coach has a story like this. Every coach
You're a loser.
Every coach has had a year like this. Every coach has an experience like this. You're making a difference in these kids' lives. Just do the best you can. And then I called a friend of ours, as a matter of fact, who has been around the coaching world, not in the NBA, but, you know, the local coaching circuit for a long time. And
that's why you wanted the Shredville hat.
And he, I mean, honestly,
any coach could help.
Any coach could help. And it was cool because he's talking to her and they're like speaking coach. And he's like drilling down all these questions with her and all that. And I think she felt better afterwards.
Good.
Like, you know, the thing with my kids, and I know this might seem a little soft, if you will, but I've always said to my kids before, because I never want to be the dad who's like, you got to win. I always think of Emilio Estevez's dad in Breakfast Club, and I don't want to be that guy. It's always, did you do your best and did you have fun? And within the parameters of that, it's, well, if I don't think you did your best, let's have a conversation about that. That's all. Everyone's giving up their time. You're a part of the team. They deserve nothing less than your best. By the way, if your best is sitting on the bench, if your best is missing all your shots, if your best is you never scored a goal, then that's your best. And I'm going to be proud of you and I'm going to love you for that. But if you really want to do this, are you going to put in the time both on and off the field to maximize your potential? That's all I want as a parent.
And if it's not, hey, maybe this isn't the thing for you.
Maybe this isn't the thing for you, and we don't tolerate losers in this family. So that's kind of, you know, what I try to tell her is, are you doing your best? Are you leaving it all on the court? And is this fulfilling? And it's incredibly fulfilling for her. I just, damn it, I want her to.
Yeah. Well, they covered the spread.
They did. The spread was 61.5. So you know what? I'm not going to lie. Towards the end, look, I'm not saying I bet on the other team. I'm not saying I didn't. And towards the end, one of our kids was making some shots, and I'm like, yeah, maybe take her out. Let's got a lot of money right. And speaking of betting on things, which of course you and I do not do, just shout out to my wife and to all coaches out there that you know, really do their best to enrich our children's lives. Jason, if I were to say to you, let's play a game of the secret suitcase with $250,000 in cash. You have $250,000 in cash, Jason. Here you go. Congratulations. But the catch is you have to bet it on who the winner of the Super Bowl is. I'm going to give you a choice. It's going to be either the Chiefs or the 49ers. You can bet on either of them to win as one bet, or you can place that $250,000 on any other team or on all the other teams, in the NFL. So it's Chiefs Niners is one bet. Either of them wins, you win. Or the field. Where are you putting that suitcase cash?
Well, your odds are better on the field.
Your odds are better on the
30 teams versus 2. But really, I say 30. There's probably 10 you can take out. Oh boy. I'm gonna do it. Niners Chiefs.
Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, I would do the same thing. It wouldn't be easy, but I think I'd do the same thing. So I thought this was interesting. Today's we have updated odds on your Super Bowl winners. The Kansas City Chiefs are plus 525. Let's just use simple math. If you put $1,000 down, you would win $5,250 if the Chiefs won.
What if you put $100 down?
Then you would win $525.
What if you put $10?
$52.50, and let's stop right there. The Niners are now plus 650. You put $1,000 down, you win $6,250. What's interesting about that is that if you put $1,000 down on both, or 100 or 10 on both the Chiefs and the 49ers, $1,000 each, that's a $2,000 bet. You're either winning $5,250, which would in fact be $3,000 plus, or $6,500. So it actually you'd still make money. Now, the Niners were 7-1 to win the whole thing back on the 24th of September. That's the last time, a week ago. They have now fallen to 13-2. That's about 6.5 to 1. Not about, that is 6.5 to 1. So they've, the odds are better now for them to win. What I find interesting, and I know we talk a lot of trash, but what I find interesting about this is that the Raiders, with their win over the Browns, have gone from 100 to 1. You bet $100, you win $10,000, right? 100 to 1. You bet $1, you win 100. Okay. They went from 100 to 1 to 150 to 1.
Even with the win.
Here's what I think it is, though. Here's what I think it is. We talked about it yesterday. I want you to monitor this. I think Vegas thinks they're going to trade Devontae Adams. There was a report yesterday on Instagram from one of the, I think it was Sports Illustrated, that said some around the league think that Devontae Adams has played his last game. Now, this is one of those internet things, and I don't know if it's true, so I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to anyways, because it came from a pretty big football site that put this out there, but it was a screenshot of the likes on that post, and one of them was from Antonio Pierce, the head coach, on a post saying Devontae Adams may have played his last game for the Raiders. Now, again, don't know if that's true. I think he'll be asked about it, but I think Vegas is. Why would they possibly go from 100 to 150 to 1 after a win over the Browns? They're now 2-2. I'm not saying they should be favorites to win the Super Bowl or nothing. I'm saying you probably should have at least stayed the same. I think Vegas is factoring in that they think there's an issue with Devontae Adams. I think it's a very interesting story, perhaps to follow when it comes to the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, 4 down territory. Gosh, we're really. Oh, you know what? My computer clock says it's 8:53. I was like, wow, we're really late.
We're pretty late.
We're pretty late. Yeah, we are pretty late. Do we want to try to fit this into everything that segment? Because we can. You want to do that? Or you want Chris gave us an eyebrow. Did we not do that last week, Jason Ross?
We did.
When Samoa was here, we did it all. We did 4 down territory and let's go streaking and who's hot, who's not, all in one thinger.
Okay.
Do you want to try that?
Let's see if you can.
All right. So this is the music you're going to hear when we get back. We'll take
odds are plus 260
when we come back. 4 down territory. What's hot? What's not? And let's go streaking. We'll do that next.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and, of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power & Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
Jared Goff.
Hey.
In last night's Monday Night Football game, Jared Goff was 18 of 18, throwing for 292 yards and 2 touchdowns. His 18 for 18 for a game was the most pass attempts without an incompletion in a game in NFL history.
NFL history. Even Drew Brees couldn't do it. He was like 96.7. That's 100%. Dan Campbell gave the game ball to somebody else. Dan Campbell didn't know. Dan Campbell found out on the podium that Jared Goff did the thingy-dingy like Chris just talked about. Listen.
Yeah, well, I just gave the game ball to somebody else, so I feel awful right now. Yeah. No, I knew he played a heck of a game. I did not realize he was perfect.
Dan Campbell not in tune with his team. Should he be gone?
Yeah, lost the locker room.
Lost the locker room right there. Who's not, Chris? I know we got to move around.
The Detroit Tigers.
What?
Wait, they're in the playoffs.
They're in the playoffs.
This season, they did not have a player with 150 or more hits, 75 or more RBIs, 25 or more home runs, or 25 or more stolen bases this season. But like you said, they will play the Astros today because they are the first team to make the playoffs with no players reaching any of those marks.
Wow.
And they're filled with a bunch of guys who are just one hell of model Americans.
Heart, gumption, fortitude.
Should we streak or should we 4 down? You want to streak or 4 down? I'll leave that to Chris.
4 down.
4 down. Here we go. 4 down territory. Niners at 9 coming up. Well, next. Yeah, we're going to do that at 9 a.m. today.
Really?
In the meantime, 4 down territory. Hey, question 1, please.
The Dolphins made the playoffs last year.
They did.
Any chance they get back this year?
They say that the quarterback position is the most important position in the NFL. I think you can just look right there at Miami and realize why. Jason, we have our best and worst, top 5, bottom 5 after week 4 coming up. I'm going to give a spoiler alert. The Miami Dolphins are dead last for me. They are the worst team in the NFL. Tennessee went in there and went poo-poo on them. And that's because you have a team that has Devon Achane and when healthy, Raheem Mostert and Jalen Waddle. And, oh, by the way, Tyreek Hill, who is losing his mind. But when you take away a quarterback and replace him with you or me, that's a problem. The Dolphins are nowhere near what they are or were with Tua Tagovailoa. As a matter of fact, Tua is doing more for me when it comes to MVP votes than he ever has before because that is the example. I think they're the worst team in the NFL. We're going to find out next week when they go into New England to play the Patriots. But I'll bet you anything the Patriots are going to be a favorite in that game, and I'll bet you that line ain't going to be enough. They got talent. They don't have anybody throwing the ball.
Before the year, the thought was, could the Jets, could the Dolphins, Bills, who would win that division? No one talked about the Patriots. But with that injury, the way they're playing, they looked awful yesterday. I just don't see them recovering.
They got to look, I know it's weird and this normally doesn't happen, but they're either punting on the season, pun intended, and focusing on the draft, which is a big ask after 4 games with so much expectation, or they have to make a trade.
Yeah.
Like they've got to grab somebody because that they don't have it. No offense to those quarterbacks, but they're not NFL quarterbacks. They looked horrific. Second down, please.
Is Jaden Daniels the best quarterback in the NFC?
I haven't seen enough yet. He might be, but no, not right now. And there's some, obviously you've got the Dak Prescotts, the Jalen Hurtses, the Sam Darnolds,
the Brock Purdy's.
Let me just tell you a little. Here's some time for a little Brock Purdy action. The reason why Brock Purdy's so good, they say, is you basically dump it down to Deebo Samuel and he gains 900 yards because he's really good. Might be interested to know only 25% of Brock Purdy's passing yards have come from yards after catch so far this season. That's the lowest, or should I say, the lowest percentage of YAC, yards after catch, for a full quarterback season since the year 2000, 29.8. Brock's at 25 right now. And oh, by the way, one more Brock Purdy note. He currently leads the NFL in passing yards, yards per attempt, deep completions, deep passing yards, deep passes dropped, and first downs. That's without Christian McCaffrey. That's without a game of Deebo Samuel. That's with Brandon Ayuk looking more like Andon Brayuk. I don't know. Brock Purdy has a very good case being the best quarterback in the NFC, but if we're doing a power ranking style, Jason Ross rules, it's Sam Darnold.
From this year, based on this year?
Based on this year alone.
And Daniels may get there, but it's too early. It's too early for him.
Now, if I'm drafting quarterbacks in the NFC,
I'm very intrigued with that.
He might be my number 1 pick, but he ain't there yet. Third down playoff.
Better division, AFC West or NFC North?
AFC West, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. NFC North, Vikings, Lions, Packers, Bears. Everybody in the NFC North is 500 or better, including the Vikings at 4-0. Everybody in the AFC West is 500 or better, except the Kansas City Chiefs. But the Detroit Lions are 3-1. Everybody in the AFC West is 2-2, except the Chiefs. So by virtue of one game, I'm giving it to the North. Now, if the definition is which one is the Super Bowl going to come out of, then I'll give it to the AFC West. They're both very good. I think in the end, though, the Chiefs put them over the top.
I'm trying to think who the worst team is in each of those divisions.
Probably, I would say the Broncos and the Bears.
Yeah, and I think over the end, maybe the Broncos would maybe be the worst team. So they dropped. I mean, it's probably the NFC North, but that's a tough one.
I think it is the NFC North top to bottom.
Yeah.
But I also think
the best team is the Chiefs.
The best team is yeah, exactly. So 4th down, please.
What happens first? A Vikings loss or Jaguar win?
Well, let's take a look. The Jacksonville 0-4 Jaguars play the Colts, the Bears, and the Patriots, and the Packers at home over the next 4 games. The Vikings, they are 4-0. And who do they have coming up? Well, they've got the Jets, Lions at home, then the Rams on the road, and then the Colts. I think the Jags are going to win one before I do. The Jags, if they don't win one of these next few, then they're really, really screwed.
Isn't that Vikings game this week? That's the one like in London, I think.
I think you will. Yeah, 6:30 a.m. start, by the way. The Vikings could lose this weekend.
Yeah.
But I'll go with the Jags.
I will pick the Vikings, I guess, literally on time, too, just based on that game's first. That could happen that way. They've been a surprise. They've got a great season going so far. It's been a pleasant surprise, but I guess I'll pick them.
Minnesota 2.5-point favorites over the Jets. Jacksonville 3-point favorites over the Colts, but the Vikings play at 6:30 in the morning. The Jets play at 10, so technically they may both win and lose this weekend.
Yeah,
I see what you're doing there. All right, let's go streaking. Baseball time.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking.
All right, let's remember yesterday was the final day of the regular season because they had to carry over. So if you have a streak that carries over, it goes into next season. Dave, you were at 3. Chris and I were at 0 going into yesterday. Dave, you took Marcell Ozuna of the Atlanta Braves. In that doubleheader, we were only taking game 1. He got it 5 times. All those runs scored in that game. Ozuna went 0 for 5.
Yeah, he did, Jason.
You saw his last at bat too.
I saw his last at bat live, and that didn't. What?
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, you suck. Sorry, it's over. It's over now. It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so you're at 0. I took Francisco Lindor of the New York Mets. He had a huge hit late. He had a hit early. He had 2 for 5. I'm at 1.
Yeah.
And Chris took Iglesias from the Mets. And he got it 5 times, and he got a hit. So Chris and I will go into next season with a 1-game hitting streak.
I'm going to throw the red challenge flag.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see the whole game, but I'm listening to baseball highlights from yesterday. You know,
pitch on the way to Ozuna, and he lashes one into left field. A base hit. That'll drive in 2 runs. Ozuna busts out in a big way. 3-0 Braves.
Game 2.
Enormous lift for the Braves by Marcell Ozuna.
It sounds like a hit.
Yeah, that was in game 2.
But I thought it was if you get a hit in a day. That's the second time that garbage has happened to me. Him and stupid Shohei Ohtani.
Whoa,
the top 2 MVP guys in the league. And yeah, that's garbage. They both suck. No Hall of Fame for them.
Well, today was doing our playoff streak. Starts with 4 games. You can pick anybody today.
I want to. Screw you, baseball. All right, baseball been very, very good to me. Oh, you know what? He just happens to be playing. Let me think. Who should I take? Oh, how about Jackson Holiday?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Bobby Witt Jr.
Robert Witt Jr.
I'm going to take Marcell Ozuna.
She's such a D.
I'm going to take Kyle Juszczyk. Touchdown.
And you know he's getting a hit. You guys want to make a bet today? I guarantee you Marcell Ozuna will get a hit because Chris Duckham and I did. It's a guarantee when we come back.
Oh, we got some time.
We got some time. See, look at that. We just sped right through all of that.
I was just saying, wow, we sped through all of that and we have time.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right.
What do you got?
I got Malik Monk talking about his life-changing summer.
It just shows the sky's the limit, that you can achieve more too. So I just, like you said, I just sit back and just thought about the ways I got here, thought about the struggles I had, and I can let them go now and pick up some new struggles. So, yeah, man, it's life-changing for sure.
What's the feeling to walk in here today, that uniform on, knowing that you have that business behind you? You made a decision to stay here and make this a long-term home for yourself.
I'm home now. That's what it felt like, man. I'm going to continue to feel like that. So, happy.
Okay.
I mean, that guy, Sacramento just loves that guy.
Loves him. He loves them. It's a match made in heaven. Now, that wasn't the most electrifying thing he said yesterday. As I was leaving media day, there was a little altercation between myself and world-renowned comedian Lance Woods, who, everyone's been messing with me about my shirt today. And then yesterday, same thing. And Lance asked Malik Monk to, I think the kids say, rate the fit. And here's what he had to say.
That's what billionaires wear. So you might not know what, you know what I'm saying? You never know. I'm just short the billion.
That's what billionaires wear, is what he said. Is that a compliment from somebody who is, in his 20s?
Closer to being a billionaire?
I should have said, the line should have been, I'm short about $88 million. Can I borrow some?
Mm-hmm.
If someone said that to me, I'd punch him in the face.
You would punch Malik Monk.
If he said I look like a billionaire.
Looks like a billionaire. That's like the worst insult ever to Chris. I think it was a compliment, but really underneath was a little bit of a rip, because I think the implication there is that you can look at somebody who isn't dressed right and think, oh, they don't care. They must be a billionaire.
Yeah.
I'll take it as a compliment. We'll take it when we come back. Niners at 9. Fred Warner will give you an update on him, some Brock Purdy numbers, and what if Christian McCaffrey comes back sooner rather than later? How's that going to work out? We'll discuss it on the home of the Niners, Sactown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
A woman not only knows what she's going to wear, she knows what you're not going to wear.
Rob Schneider.
You're not wearing that.
Coming to Hard Rock Live, Sacramento this Friday.
You're not wearing that. I know I'm not. I just tried it on, to kind of warm up the idea of clothes, and then.
Don't miss Rob Schneider. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
When shopping for a new car, what do you want? A great selection? A low monthly payment? More for your trade? At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, you get it all.
Model year-end savings are going on now. It's savings you just can't say no to.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888 247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Gonna get to Niners at 9. Jason, we were talking during the break, and media day all over the place. Just want to real quick play this. This is, I don't know who the reporter was. I should probably know that, but yesterday at Warriors Media Day, this was Draymond and a reporter having a little back and forth.
People worry about you. Fans, maybe your teammates.
Oh, they worry about me. I am a successful black man in America doing incredibly well. What's the worry?
They worry
about
you.
There are way more people in this world to worry about than me. That's for sure.
But we're here now. So
we're all here. I don't think you should worry about me.
Okay.
I'm doing pretty well. If you would have told me when I was 13 years old in Saginaw, Michigan, without a pot to piss in, that you'd be sitting here and somebody would say they're worried about you, I would have probably told them they were out of their mind. I'd be sitting here and they'd be worried about me.
Well, they're worried from themselves too. They want to know.
They don't feed.
They know the team needs you.
So why are they worried?
Because they know the team needs you.
But they don't feed.
And they don't know if you're going to be here.
Doing this. I'm here. I've been here for 13 years now.
If you're going to be here every night.
Been here pretty much every night for 13 years. Not so. Very much so. We all have. Look, Kevon Looney played 82 games 2 years in a row, and everybody was celebrating. We all miss games.
No, I'm talking about they want to know if you're going to be here. Like mentally.
I'm always here. And suspensions, the guideline of getting suspended is something that's in place because it's a possibility. So
nothing changed in that respect.
I don't know what would change, but I don't get the question. I think my mindset has helped us do some great things. It's pretty cool. So it's all about how you spin it. I love how you try and spin it, but it ain't my spin to it, player. So yeah.
That was thanks to Jay Johnson, our afternoon producer. That's Scott Osler.
I thought it was
Scott
Osler.
Long-time reporter in the Bay Area. I'm really split on this. Like, on one hand, it's like, dude, to the reporter, I'm like, come on. Like, it's a little uncomfortable. On the other hand, I'm like, that was incredibly entertaining. It was very entertaining on Draymond's side, too. I get where his spins I understand as much as I did basketball dislike Draymond Green. I get it. Yeah, dude, 4 championships. I was a part of all of them.
Right.
I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame. But then on the other hand, it's like, bro, you gonna team need you? You gonna? It's very interesting. This is one of those ones where I can actually come down a little bit on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, the way I was listening to it was thinking, I'm going off of last year. So yeah, they're always going to be able to say the Warriors that they've won 4 titles, that group, and now it's no longer Clay, but Steph and Draymond and Coach Kerr, like those 3 have been a part of 4 championships.
That's right.
Last year they missed the playoffs and Draymond played 55.
That's right.
So I'm just assuming on his behalf, if Draymond played 27 more games, the Warriors are probably not in the play-in.
That's right. I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
But I don't know that he's going to play 82 this year. He hasn't played 82, I don't think, in a long time.
I agree. Yeah.
I guess he actually had his stats up here. I don't even know. He's played 82 once.
Yeah.
And not that many. Well, in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 2 years ago, he played 73. But before that, 44, 63, 43, 66. So he's good. He's important to what they do.
Yes.
So I think the question if that's what was being asked, I didn't take it as the suspensions part. I thought it was like availability in health.
I think it's a fair question. I think to what you said, if you're right, they missed the playoffs because Draymond Green got suspended. If he's there, you say they don't make they're not dealing with the play-in and all that,
or injuries.
Yeah.
Things. Yeah,
but anyways,
yeah,
I thought it was an interesting back.
It was.
He always pushes back when you start to question about his suspension.
Yes, he does, because he doesn't want the narrative. But it's like, and
it's there.
It's there. And I understand the pushback. I understand what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look what we've done. But I think it's also, but what are you doing?
Yeah, and he was going farther. Like, why are you even worrying about me as a success? I mean, that wasn't
basketball. It's basketball worry.
Yeah.
We're not worried, Draymond, that you're not going to make rent or
car tires
DUI right. No one's worried about that. Off the court, no one's worried about you. Off the field, though, a lot of people worried about Fred Warner because he picked up a little bit of a knock.
Yeah, looks like that's okay.
Looks like that's going to be okay. Thank goodness.
Yes.
So he will be there and ready to go this weekend. And we talked a little bit about Brock Purdy earlier, that who's hot and who's not segment, what he has been doing this year, what he's on pace to do. And I don't know. I think weirdly enough, Niners are sitting at 2-2 right now. But in a strange way, he's done as much, if not more, in these 4 games to just, I wouldn't say quiet down the doubters, but really they're almost gone. That argument now is almost gone. It's almost universally recognized, except for our caller yesterday and a few others, that if you think Brock's one of them system QBs that's only as good, that argument's kind of gone. I think there's about 25-ish other teams that'd be just fine with Brock Purdy right now. And when you look at the numbers, we talked about passing yards, yardage downfield. He has the lowest yards after catch. And that's going to change, by the way. He ain't finishing at 25%. But then you look at Jordan Mason, who is not Christian McCaffrey, but he's number 2 in rushing yards. Juwan Jennings is not Brandon Ayuk, not Deebo Samuel. He's not even George Kittle. He's number 3 in the NFL in receiving.
Yeah, so they have 1, 2, and 3 in passing yards, rushing yards, and receiving yards. And it's Purdy, obviously, is going to be the quarterback, but it's not McCaffrey. It's not the other receivers you're talking about.
And I will say, I like Juwan Jennings. But I think there's one thing we need to remember about Juwan Jennings is he's number 3 in receiving yards. But it's also because he's a product of Kyle Shanahan's system, and he's got Brock Purdy throwing him the ball. You put Juwan Jennings on any other team, he's not doing what he's doing. He's basically a system receiver. You see how stupid that sounds? You see how dumb that sounds? And Jordan Mason, if he doesn't have Trent Williams blocking for him in that Kyle Shanahan scheme, he's not great. Basically, anybody on the Niners that is doing well is because they're a product of what Kyle Shanahan's doing, who can't win Super Bowls and doesn't like the second half of big games.
Football's a team sport. It's always been a team sport. You need all 11, and the skill players get more of the love and more of the recognition. But yeah, you're right. All those other parts have to be working in unison, even if at times they're not working perfectly. There are a lot of skillful 49ers out there. They're lucky to have as many good players as they do. I think their system's phenomenal. I think they're well coached. But I've never looked at that as a negative of, that's a good compliment. Debo and Ayuk and Kittle and even McCaffrey, when healthy, are all some of the best skill players they have, but Jennings is capable of coming in and filling in. Mason's shown he's capable of filling in. I think the one spot they've shown, if Purdy got hurt, I don't think we'd see the same results at QB.
No, I don't either. And
it just would be different.
It's funny how Sam Darnold was a terrible quarterback when he was getting blown up and running for his life with the Jets. When he was, was it Carolina after that? Yeah, same thing, Did Sam Darnold all of a sudden wake up and learn how to throw the ball again? Yeah. No, he's
but he's got Justin Jefferson. Well, some of those throws are incredible that he's making. That Jefferson is making great catches on.
And you look at that Kittle throw, the Juwan Jennings throw that Purdy made. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
Both.
So what do you think if and when McCaffrey comes back? Is this a just seamless, he goes right in, They still find the best of Mason. They still find the best of all their receivers, and it's smooth. Even if it's, let's say it's week 10, it's way down the line.
If Jordan Mason keeps doing what Jordan Mason's doing, there's going to be an adjustment period.
Yeah, and I think they probably, even if McCaffrey came in this year and was fully healthy, coming off of close to an MVP year last year, I bet they wanted to lighten the workload on him anyway.
I think so.
And I think it would be smart to still run Mason, but McCaffrey be running back one. Maybe Mason gets those tough physical yards that he's been getting, but McCaffrey can still get where he can score almost on every play.
Well, I think the good news, too, is that Jordan Mason and Christian McCaffrey are two completely different running backs. And granted, it doesn't always work. What was it? It was Tiki Barber and was it Ron Dane?
Yeah,
Thunder Lightning.
Thunder and Lightning.
Yeah, Wisconsin's Ron Dane. Wow. No relation to Taylor.
Do you know that?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm just assuming. Well, that's true. There's not a lot of Danes in the world.
Great.
Ron, Taylor, great-ish.
I know. Wasn't ready for that one.
But I Kyle Shanahan, and I don't have his offensive mind, but I got to think that you can actually use two backs like that together.
Yeah.
And part of me really, this would be kind of interesting, Jason. Do you think there's a way where Chris McCaffrey comes back, you keep Jordan Mason, right, where he's at. They just put McCaffrey in the slot and make him a hybrid. I mean, they do it with Debo.
Yeah.
Not the slot, but they're doing it with Debo, putting him in the back. Like you said, he's their second best running back right now. So why not do like that reverse hybrid where have a run? And I know they don't want to bang him up or anything, but you can construct all kinds of plays and things where you got McCaffrey in motion and talk about possibly unlocking another part of him now full time while Mason's doing your traditional run left, run right, run straight through type of running back stuff, 4 yards in a cloud of dust, whatever the hell. And then you have McCaffrey running all over the place behind the line of scrimmage just as another Swiss Army knife to go with Deebo Samuel, to go with George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk. I mean, they're the thing about this team is that if they're right, it's not that they have a chance to win the NFC. It's not that they have a chance to win the Super Bowl. If they're right and if they're healthy, they have a chance to be one of the most dominant teams of all time going into the playoffs.
And Greg Papa said it on this show before. He felt like McCaffrey could be all-pro as a slot receiver.
Yeah, I completely agree with him.
As an option.
And having a Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
Look, but the other side of that is this. It might sound hyperbole, like if they're right, they could be, Here's the other part. If they're right and they don't, they got to wear that crown. They got to wear that crown of turds as being the one of the more underachieving based on talent teams of all time. And I understand the Sonics and the Knicks and those arguments when it comes to Michael Jordan and Patrick Mahomes. I get it, but at some point, if you want to be great, you want to be legendary, you do have to break through.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's next. We'll take a break. Top 5, bottom 5 after week 4. Also, what to watch, and then we'll crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. In the meantime, I'm always looking with fall. And by the way, fall coming up. Fall's here, actually. And Jason,
hear about that?
What better way to welcome in fall than this week's temperatures? 101, 102, 100, 96, 99, 98. Well, eventually it will cool down, I think, and American Energy wants to help you out with their $49 tune-up. Regularly more than double that price. Hey, listen. By the way, if your unit is over 10 years old, your HVAC system, well, you get it for free. Not the tune-up. American Energy, always your second opinion partner as well. Been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. That $49 fall tune-up includes a full safety and duct inspection. If your system, again, is over 10 years old, it's free. By the way, if you need a repair, your first recommended repair, $50 off. And if it ends up on, look, it happens. You need a new furnace completely. They'll give you half off the price of a new unit. Can't beat that. Go to the AEWay.com. The AE is an AmericanEnergyWay.com for an instant quote, or 916-520-9990. It's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy. Hey, it's making the uncomfortable comfortable. We'll take a break. 30 seconds here. I'll go away. When we come back, top 5, bottom 5. Next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Playoff baseball today. We'll talk about that and what to watch in the next segment. Don't forget, tomorrow, Monik Nair will join us. Kevin Herter will join us. I think we'll re-rack the Aaron Fox and so much more. Oh, we have on Wednesdays. We have Shredville.
Tim Plow.
Coach Tim Plow's coming on. Emil, not a snap. Emil, the power of Emil.
Man.
For Go. So
busy day.
Busy day. You know what I love, Jason? I love content.
Yeah, me too.
I love looking at the prep sheet and going, where are we going to fit that?
Yeah.
I have probably, honestly, Jason, in my bookmarks, I probably have half a show worth of content that I'm still in summer mode where I'm saving everything that we just can't even get to.
Summer savesies.
Summer savesies. In the meantime, we got your regular Tuesday. Top 5 and bottom 5. Brought to you by football. Hey, it's what's for dinner. Wildcats. Bottom 5 first.
Yep.
Starting from the 5th worst to the worst. Is that how we do it?
Sure.
Jason Ross.
My 5th worst team after 4 weeks in the NFL. The New England Patriots. I have them at 28th overall.
You know, I struggled with this one. I really, really did.
I think we're going to be different today.
I think we're going to be very, very different. I have 5th worst overall. I have the Panthers.
Oh, wow.
Carolina Panthers as the 5th worst. As the 4th worst, I have the New England Patriots. So
okay.
We're right there.
All right. My 4th worst team, I have the New York Football Giants. They're a very good squad. They lost on Thursday. Tough quarterback play. And then my 3rd worst team, they did win last night, but they're still pretty bad, the Titans.
Yeah. I also have the New York Football Giants in there as well.
Your 3rd worst?
My 3rd worst. My 2nd worst, based on what they have and haven't done this year. I don't think they're a bottom 5 team ultimately. I don't. But I think they're right there. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
They're just inept right now.
Well, you already said earlier who your worst one was going to be. So I have Carolina as my 2nd worst, the Panthers, and I did put Jacksonville. I don't have Miami in there that you have as your worst team, huh?
I would ask you this, playing by Jason Ross rules, of your 5 worst teams, if they were playing Miami on a neutral site, how many of those teams do you think would beat Miami if you had to bet?
Well, the Titans did beat them in Miami yesterday. As constructed right now, because of the inability at quarterback, I wonder if Huntley had a little more time, because I think he's been an okay backup in Baltimore, but he wasn't very good last night. Skylar Thompson was awful the week before. They need Tua. but I think there's more talent to that roster.
Right.
That's why I'm keeping them out, but they're not very good. I don't know. They might be. Well, we're going to find out. They play the Patriots, right?
Find out this weekend. Can't wait for that. Dolphins, Patriots. This time it's for real.
Yeah.
Top 5. Number 5. I couldn't drop the Bills out of my top 5. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. They were my number 1 last week, with apologies to the Chiefs, but they just had the most dominant year. They got pantsed by Baltimore, but I couldn't do it. So I got the Bills at number 5.
I, too, have the Buffalo Bills at number 5. I was thinking of dropping them out, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not. They're too good. They just did get the 1 loss. Solid team at number 5. Number 4 for me, a team that looked really good last night. They looked good a couple times. Detroit. I have the Lions at number 4.
I do not have the Lions in my top 5.
Woo!
At number 4, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they won the division last year.
Yeah.
They look fantastic so far. Third best. That's what they did to the Bills. I got to give it to them. And they have the worst record of the guys I have in the top 5. But, God, Baltimore looked fantastic against the Bills. They really did.
Derrick Henry gives them a nice wrinkle. At number 4, I have the Lions.
Did you just say that?
Did I say the Lions already? Okay, then number 3, I have the Buccaneers, who defeated the Lions earlier. They're 3-1. You had them at 4. So my number 2 team, the Chiefs.
I have a Buccaneers joke. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
So this is with Halloween coming up, right? These kids are going to the door and trick or treat, right? The lady opens the door and she goes, "Oh my gosh," because they're all dressed as pirates, right? And they go, "Oh, you're a bunch of pirates! Oh, where are your Buccaneers?" This one kid goes, "They're under my bucket hat, lady."
Dork.
Really? Come on, that's cute. My kid told me that joke. That's a lie. She didn't. Makes it sound better.
Yeah.
Number 1 for me, I've got Minnesota at number 2.
Okay.
Number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs, and I do believe, I'm guessing you've got those flip-flopped.
I have put the Vikings based on win resume, still undefeated.
Wow.
Number 1. Good job, Minnesota. Maybe the last time there, maybe not. Who knows? Good for them. But they have 3 very good wins. They've been more convincing, I would say, at times than the Chiefs have been. Chiefs are loaded. They're great, but I'm going to reward the Vikings right now.
I mean, they do look good.
No Niners in there for us. Top 5.
Can't in good conscience do it right now. What I can do in good conscience, though. You shook your head.
I was going with the flow of the paper.
Gotcha. Sorry. As I can give you the opportunity to experience the number 1 live podcast, Kill Tony, this October. That's this month, by the way. As Tony Hinchcliffe brings his impressively edgy and hilarious humor to the venue at Thunder Valley this fall, all you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now at 1-800-920-1140. We're looking for caller number
4.
I had 4 yesterday. That's fine.
Yeah, but 4. No, today is 4.
4.
Yesterday was 4.
4.
Today is 4.
Hand?
Yes, 4.
Ham. Caller number 4 to score that pair of tickets to check out Tony.
No, I said 4.
Forn? Hinchcliffe only at Thunder Valley Casino Resort this October 11th.
Hey, it's coming up. 10 days away.
October 11th. That's
my birthday.
That is your birthday.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's Chris's birthday.
Yep.
Happy birthday, Chris Rulad. October 11th.
We have to go watch MacGruber again. Oh, is that show? When's that screening coming?
I'm gone this week.
Maybe the week after.
So, yeah, maybe the week after.
I'm waiting for a report. Chris and I both believe that Melissa's going to like it.
I think.
Make sure it's after a good win.
I think you guys
for Coach Mel.
Yeah, I that maybe that's how we'll celebrate.
Yeah,
gets a nice big win, go out or come home, watch a little MacGruber. I just honestly, the whole point of the MacGruber thing is just I just want to know what they think. We have a moment here before we go to break. I've been wanting to play this. Chris Watkins found this. Media Day coverage is from Portland. Scoot Henderson going into his 2nd season. And, we're the city of trees.
Yeah.
But I ain't entirely sure Portland's not either. My goodness.
All right. Scoot, now that you have a couple months of distance from it, kind of what do you look back on about your rookie season and kind of what you learned from it?
I look back at the good food that I had. Yeah. A lot of food. And then, what I've learned from it. You know what I'm saying? Just all the games, obviously think about all the games every night.
All right. Scoot, now that you have a couple months of distance from it, kind of what do you look back on about your rookie season and kind of what you learned from it?
Just want to run through this.
I look back at
pay attention.
The good food that I had.
I don't know. Look, I'm not saying nothing, okay? I ain't saying nothing. But if you watch the video combined with the answers, let's put it this way. It is the anti-Adam Gase press conference. Okay?
Yeah.
And by the way, have at it, kid.
Sure.
Have at it. Ain't nothing wrong. Go for it. It's your world. Not hurting anyone. Maybe he was just happy. Maybe he was just happy to be back. And you know what? From a guy that spends a lot of his professional life talking about food, I'm not mad at it.
Right. But kind of impressed.
He looked like he was having some fun. We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch. We'll clean up some other things for you and playoff baseball before we get to cross and talk with Styles and Watkins. We'll do all that right after this.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This report is brought to you by Macy's. Don't miss Macy's VIP sale. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends and save 15% off skincare, makeup, and more. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply. Now at Macy's.
With Wendy's, breakfast burrito is everything you want for breakfast. Fresh cracked eggs, seasoned potatoes, American cheese, cheese sauce, bacon, or sausage, all rolled up into one warm tortilla. Want the boss of breakfast burritos? Gotta be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Are you tired of your tee shots ending up in the adjoining fairway while the rest of your foursome is hitting it down the middle? Well, experts will tell you that being properly fitted for golf clubs will help you strike your drive center cut. The Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio and its team of trained PGA professionals are ready to help you get rid of your banana balls and duck hooks. Hagen Oaks Indoor-Outdoor Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
I was just talking to our boss because one of our sister stations uses one of our bosses. It's our sister station mix uses jingles. Sometimes they play in the hall, and I heard Mix 96, whatever. So I was like, I want a jingle. I want some jingles for this show. I'm like the kid who sees someone else eating ice cream. I want some jingle. I think we'd have fun with jingles. So I was asking him, and I was like, hey, can I get some jingles for the show? And he said there's places now where you can basically it's kind of half AI, where you can just go on Super Simple now and they'll construct jingles for you. And if that's the case, and if it's that easy, we're all in a lot of trouble. If I get my hands on a place where I can just have jingles on demand, oh my God, we're all getting a jingle. We're all getting personalized jingles. I think we're gonna get jingles for how about a 3 for Madness jingle, right? Come on. Crosstalk. It's Crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. Bing. Come on, man. Instead of me saying, oh, what to watch today? What to watch?
Yeah.
Right? That's so much more entertaining. I'm getting jingles for the YouTube guys.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Chris Guerrero said something stupid. Yeah. You got it. Sorry, Chris. I'm just picking up. What to watch? Tigers and Astros.
That's coming up.
That's coming up. We're gonna have some day baseball here, Jason.
Yeah, that's the first one of the day.
It's basically it's playoffs all
Baseball
day
all
long.
day.
We'll start that at 11:30 on ABC. ABC presents Tigers Astros.
Wait, is it really on ABC?
It's on ABC.
That's weird.
I know it is. Usually it's General Hospital time.
Mm.
Not today. Not today. I want to watch General Hospital and which one's The View on? I don't know. I'm thinking of daytime shows.
ABC.
I don't know. Is that ABC? Yeah, The View.
I'm more of a Chew guy.
The Chew. The View has former KFBK program director Judy Farah's daughter on.
Yeah.
Sacramento, always pulling for that.
Sacramento.
Beam, bom, beady, boom. ESPN2's got the Royals and OREOs.
Did you know?
There's a Baltimore Oriole?
Yeah.
Did you also know there's a Kansas City Royal?
No.
Yeah. It's the king of Kansas City. Sacramento Kings used to be there. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah. Royals and Orioles at 1. That's on ESPN2.
When I was a kid, I thought they were the Oreos, and that was always pretty cool.
OREOs. Yeah. Remember that commercial? Nabisco. Bing. Mets and Brewers, 2:30, Aspen. And then after that, also on Aspen, Braves Padres. Jason, I have ready for you my rankings from most to least that I want to win the World Series.
Oh, to win from that group?
From I got to do all of them, huh?
Yeah.
I guess so. All right, let me find baseball, playoff.
Because you're missing the Guardians and the Yankees.
The Guards.
And the Dodgers and the Phillies.
Yeah, the Dodgers and the Phillies. I just want to.
Oh, do Dave and I get to adopt a team since?
Oh, totally, dude.
His team isn't in the playoffs, and I don't have a team.
I think we should.
Okay. Yeah, you guys have to commit to the team.
All right.
Right now is your time.
All right. So you said we're missing who? The Phillies,
and the Dodgers in the National League, the Guardians and the Yankees. Those two teams have the bye.
Okay. So for the least I want to win it, the Dodgers.
Okay.
Agreed.
The second least I want to win it, the Phillies. They already won. I don't care.
I don't like where this is going.
The next least that I want to win it, sorry.
The Yankees.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry. The least I want to win is the Dodgers. The next least I want to win it is the Astros. Okay, then the Phillies, then the Yankees. Forgot about the Astros. Okay.
So the only team you have left that's not on there is the Guardians.
Is the Guardians, right. So next least, the Braves. They got one. Okay. Then the next least, the Mets. They're paying a ton of money for it. Then the next least, Like, I'd be cool with the Brewers winning it. I just can't get into it. Like, but I'd be fine with it. Like, we're getting into my favorite, the ones I'd like. Next least, the Orioles. Next least, the Royals. They got one not that long ago. Then number 3, the Tigers. And this is where it gets really tough. The second team I want to win the whole thing, I'm going to go, it's so close. The San Diego Padres, which means the team I want to win it the most, the Cleveland Guardians.
Wow. You've got the Padres that much above the Mets, but won't pick the Mets because they spent too much money?
But here's the other thing. The Padres, San Diego doesn't have anything. They don't have anything.
They don't have anything. They have the best weather in the country. Screw them.
I mean, some people say that. That's an opinion. But they don't win anything in sports. And
the Guardians. You want a Guardians Padres World Series?
I thought that we had it, my Guardians. I thought we had it with Carlos Baerga that year. The Sandy Alomar years.
Gross.
Roberto Alomar, Mabel Sandy Alomar, and the other Sandy Alomar.
So is that the team you're adopting?
I am. So I want them to win the whole thing, but I think I'm adopting the Orioles. I'm just saying I want the Guardians to win the whole thing, but I don't think they will. And so of all the teams I kind of want to win it, I think the Orioles are the ones I'm sticking with.
Okay, Chris,
the Mets.
Wow, Chris loves billionaires.
You look like a billionaire.
You look like a billionaire.
Don't make me fight you.
Chris is a big Steve Cohen fan.
Why do you want the Mets?
Yeah,
their crowd has fun during the games. They've got a grimace seat.
Is Edwin? Can I just say 90% of the reason why you're rooting for the Mets is because of grimace?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, okay. Hey, is Edwin Diaz still doing the entrance? Yeah, right. That didn't change. Timmy the Trumpet. Will he come back for the playoffs?
Why not?
Why not? Jason, who's your number one?
The Yankees.
Okay, good. Yeah, the Yankees.
Yeah, I want the Yankees to win.
Excuse me. Who do you want to win the least?
I don't have a really? Astros.
Okay, that's acceptable. You thought we were done with what to watch, didn't you?
What else you got?
I've got
what to watch. Yeah.
Probably the most important game of the day.
Which is?
Or should I say the most important match of the day? As Tom Brady and David Beckham's wildly overspending Birmingham City squad, 6 wins, 1 draw, no losses, takes on working class, blue collar, wonderful fans, Huddersfield Town.
Oh.
That's in Birmingham City.
The Terriers?
That's it. Yeah, the Terriers going to Knighthead Park, taking on Birmingham. The Terriers started out 4-0, Jason.
Yeah, we know who Sir Patrick Stewart's rooting for.
Know exactly who P. Stew's rooting for. And it's been a rough go as the Terriers went into Bolton, beat Bolton 4-0. But they've lost since then 3 on the bounce, including 2-1 to Reading.
I don't want to look at your ads.
No, you don't. Not only have they lost 3 on the bounce there, Christopher, they have lost in all competitions 6 of 7 after starting out 4-0.
Get it together.
Why would we say 4-0 not 4-0?
And why is it 0?
Right. And one of the reasons we're playing today, because we also played on Saturdays because of that international break where they had to cancel the game. Well, this is the makeup. So we just played Saturday. Now we're going to the best team in the league, them and Wrexham.
I know exactly how you feel. City had to play on Saturday. Now they're playing Tuesday in the Champions League.
I know. Can you believe it? And then find out this morning we had another international call-up situation. They just canceled the game in 2 weeks. We're going to have to do this all over again. Doncaster.
Come on.
It's garbage.
International games are stupid.
They really are stupid, and I don't like it. So, anyways, that's at 11:45.
Busy day
today, as a matter of fact. Yeah, it's 11:45 today. So you're gonna want to tune into that. Although I don't think they put these on TV. It's League One.
What to follow.
Right. And then I think I might be there actually for the Wrexham game on October 22nd. I'm playing around with that, but might be that's at Wrexham too. So say hi to Ryan, say hi to Rob.
Ryan and Rob.
Rob and Ryan. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, crosstalk with Styles and Watkins and so much more as we wrap up today's edition of the program right after this.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fastener's Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power & Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net. Hey, movie fans, the sequel we've been waiting for is playing at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento. Joker, Folie à Deux, the IMAX experience.
2 years ago, the name Arthur Fleck hit Gotham like a hurricane.
Joaquin Phoenix reprises his role and is joined by Lady Gaga.
They're all going crazy for you.
Experience this psychological thriller with heart-pounding audio on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen.
Let's get the people what they want.
Grab your tickets early for Joker, Folie à Deux at IMAX.com/Sacramento and reserve your seats today.
Do you know when the absolute worst time to find out you've got a heater problem is? When your house is cold, your family is freezing, and the dumb thing won't turn on. This is Kenny and Jerry from Bell Brothers Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Don't get caught off guard by heater problems. Call us to schedule a precision tune-up and professional cleaning right now. It only takes 90 minutes and costs just $87. And we'll keep your heater running reliable and strong all season long. If we discover problems that need attention, we can take care of them now, instead of when you're freezing and wishing you'd thought ahead. A Bell Brothers tune-up will also allow your system to last longer, keep your home more comfortable, and lower your energy bills because your system will run more efficiently. So don't put it off. Call right now and get your precision tune-up and professional cleaning for just $87. Call Bell Brothers at 916-444-1234, or you can find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The PGA club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now that fall is here, now is the perfect time to head to Stockton and check out a new Mercedes-Benz. I had the opportunity just last week to drive an all-new S-Class 550, and let me tell you, it was a sweet ride. The moment I hopped in, I felt like I was in a world of luxury. From the steering wheel to the seat cooling and even the power of the engine, I was impressed. And then, of course, when I hopped in my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV, I felt the same thing. So hurry in and take advantage of the Mercedes-Benz incentive bonuses up to $15,000. And they have tons of pre-owned vehicles as well, including C-Class sedans, GLC SUVs, and a whole lot more. Take it from me, you won't be disappointed. So take the short drive down I-5 to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or online at mbofstockton.com.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey!
Crowd was wild. It's like a Kings game.
It's like a Kings game going down to Shredville. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, wait, are we officially in the crosstalk?
Yes. Yeah. It's crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. Bing.
Yeah!
We made a jingle today.
Wait, Alan didn't get to hear the jingle.
No, Alan didn't get to hear the jingle.
Wait, hang on.
Chris.
Wait,
not yet. Hold on. Watkins. Wait, all right, here we go. It's crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. Bing. Yeah! Fantastic.
I like it.
Yeah.
Did I do something weird on the boot bop there? I feel like I glitched.
Maybe.
Did I stutter on the beat of a boot bop? Hey, how was your first media day?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. You know, all the guests that we had. That was my first time interviewing any Sacramento Kings players.
You got all
Coach
of them,
Mike Brown.
almost.
Well, not the ones you didn't steal. Yeah, we got those. We got those. You know, we loved who we got.
Generous.
No.
If you only knew.
If you only did not know.
We literally gave you guys 2 guests. The only one that came over to us was DeMar, and that wasn't our fault.
Yeah. Well, when we had Devin in the bag, and we said, "Hey, these are our guys."
They literally said it on the schedule that we got Devin.
And
Malik was also supposed to come to us.
And we said, hey.
Jason would never lie. Not once, not twice. True or false. 3 different interviews we gave up yesterday. 2 of them to them.
Yes.
That is a fact.
And the last one to
De'Aaron Fox.
That's right.
We were
Devin Carter, 1:30 to 1:40 morning.
Interesting.
I'm just saying he saw us, saw the vibe. And we said, Devin, you got to go.
I don't want to hear no noise.
You got to go to the morning, guys.
We were incredibly
I thought I was going to have to
generous yesterday.
I thought I was going to have
we had to hold Chris back.
Sack Nate yesterday.
Ew.
Well, him and his Wawa shirt. Did you see that? He's posting it all over his social media.
Oh, see, here's the thing.
Monty was a big fan of that.
Here's the thing. Whenever someone says that they're a fan of Nate's looks, name, whatever, he has to it puts him on a high, and he has to let everybody know. Jason made the huge mistake of saying that he looked like
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, God.
Right, and then I think there was an Instagram post later that day.
Yeah. Several.
They did a good job yesterday.
He did a great job. There was one point, and, peel the curtain back. So the morning, Nate's testing everything. He's running around, and we had our headsets. So we have the headsets, and he's putting on the headphones to make sure they work. And I'm watching him. It's out of a movie. I'm just watching him sweat profusely. And he takes off the headphones. Says, "Here, Alan, try out the headphones." I'm like, I don't want to try.
Because they're all sweaty. Yeah.
And I tried. I'm like, Nate, this is disgusting.
He is kind of sweaty, Nate.
Sweaty Nate.
He is a sweaty young man.
Alan, please try these. I said, I'll take your word for it.
You know what we say about sweat, Alan?
What's that?
It's fat crying.
Wow.
That's what we gym people say.
I never heard that one. I like
it. Sweat's just fat crying.
I like that.
Yeah.
You're such a gym guy now.
Do you even lift, bro?
Yeah, not as much as you.
Look at those guns. You need a permit. It's California.
Actually, now that you say that, we were at our the hangout that we did with the Kings media with Mike and Monty and Jason Anderson, I guess, because, I'm always suited and booted at the games. He goes, "Alan, you been in the gym a little bit? Maybe I've been missing out." I said, "Jason, you've been missing out, brother."
That was Alan right there, just getting some self-gloss. We just ripped Nate for that, and then Alan just scoots right in.
Nate does it differently.
I'm the hit doctor with the big guns. I'm still trying to decide if I'm upset about how you started this crosstalk, though. Here we even did a segment to start the show about how
I'm kidding.
We know you guys get screwed.
I'm kidding.
We didn't want to be known as the guys that try to not screw you.
Right. You are the Phillips.
Yes, not the flat.
Not the flat.
Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies.
We aired the Monty.
We did.
Excuse me, the Mike Brown.
Mike Brown interview. Well done.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. Thanks.
So you guys aren't going to be able to replay that today.
Yeah. Guys on the chat, what did it autocorrect Styles and Watkins to at the beginning of the show? It made me laugh. It did something with your name. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was Guerrero that did it, but he's high. So much like I think Scoot Anderson was yesterday. That's a good find.
Boy. Yeah.
Celebrity Birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies, and more. Jason Ross, take it away.
Okay, on this day, October 1st, in what year did the show Bluey
Oh.
Did you know Bluey is a show you can put on for dogs? It's like in a certain thing. Yeah. Also, can you tell I found Simone's labeler?
Just put that on my key card.
Yeah, put on the key. I can do it for you guys.
Bluey? I don't
Crikey.
know. Crikey. I'm past. Yeah, that's past my prime.
I think Bluey is a 2010.
Say 2013.
Oh, I was not going. Okay, we'll go 09.
2016.
Christopher Lodd's the closest, 2018.
Wow. That's very new.
How about on this day, in what year did the first Jackass debut?
Oh. The movie.
19.
The movie or the show?
You know what? I don't know anymore.
Okay. I think well, if it's the movie, I think it's in the 2000s. I want to say it's like 98. Okay, movie 2002.
Yep, I think you're spot on because I was a middle schooler. I'm gonna say 03 though.
2000.
Throw that in there.
I'm going to say 2002 if it's a movie and 99 if it's a TV show.
I was going to say that's
okay,
so
I don't know, but it's 2000.
Yeah.
So that must be the show then.
Right. Maybe it's the
show.
All right, let's get another one. How about on this day, in what year was the group NSYNC formed?
Uh-huh.
Oh, check out that documentary.
Dirty Pop. It was good. Was it on Netflix?
Dirty Pop. NSYNC was formed in 1996.
I was going to say 96. 97.
I'll say 97.
It might be earlier. I think it's 95.
We have a correct answer, and it's Christopher Lodd, 1995.
Wow. Should have watched the documentary.
Well, no, that's cheating.
That's cheating.
Happy birthday today to former President Jimmy Carter. Still with us.
Yeah, Jimmy Carter. Why don't you give him the triple digits? 100 years old today. Still with us.
97.
I was going to say 93.
I watch The West Wing, and I know how old presidents are. 100.
We have a correct answer. 100 today.
100 years old.
Jimmy
Still
Carter.
with us. On his way out, though.
You sure?
He's in hospice.
I don't know.
He's
Been in hospice for a long time.
Yeah, he has. I mean, I hope not. But he's,
Crazy.
What?
So on his way out.
I'm just saying he's been in hospice for a while, so enjoy it while you can. I'm saying
Happy birthday on your way out. My goodness. Happy birthday to Sacramento's own Brie Larson.
Captain Marvel.
Named after a cheese. Little known.
Larson cheese.
Yeah, Larson cheese. Brie is, as I call her, she is 38. What? Too old, too young? Too old, too young?
Say 36.
Oh. Simone, I found your labeler. Thank you.
Now I'm confused.
She can't hear you because my mic is on.
32.
I'm going to say 35.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Christopher Lodd, 35 for Brie Larson.
You think I was going to get a Sacramentan's birthday wrong?
Sacramentans.
Happy birthday to Zach
Galifianakis.
Wilson.
That was it.
I cannot be stopped today.
Yeah, you're on fire. Zach's 48.
No.
Oh.
Wait, which one was it?
Galifianakis.
Is he more
The
known?
beard.
Is he more known for Hangover or Between Two Ferns?
Hangover.
Yeah.
Is that a joke?
Well, I love Between Two Ferns. For me, that's why I asked. For me, it's
48, you said?
I did say that.
No, he's 50. He's 52.
50.
What'd you say?
50.
49.
The win goes to Alan Styles, 55.
Oh, God.
Happy birthday to...
He's almost on Medicare.
He's like he doesn't look
on his way out.
He's on his way out.
He's coloring his beard. Also, he's not the guy in the meme that's Robert Redford. If you know, you know. Everyone thinks it's Zach Galifianakis. It's Robert Redford.
It's from Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Mark McGuire.
Mark McGuire.
Oakland A.
The Oakland player. 64.
Oh!
Yeah.
60 on the nose.
58.
63.
Alan's the closest, 61.
Now who's hot?
Happy birthday to former Giant Matt Cain.
Perfect game. I actually interviewed him.
Matt Cain. Sorry. That's Eric Clapton's song.
Yes.
Matt Cain is really. Matt Cain is 40. Really? What's wrong with you? No. 42.
39.
No.
43.
No.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Carmichael Dave.
No.
40. Happy birthday to current Giant Robbie Ray.
Oh.
Ooh.
Is Robbie Ray better than Bob Ray?
Robert Ray.
Rob
Answer
Ray.
the question.
Yeah. Robert Ray.
Robert Raymond.
Robert Ray Stevenson. It sounds like a serial killer, being honest.
Oh, Robert Ray Stevenson in
on
Pacific Northwest in the 70s.
34.
No, I was going to say 30.
34.
33.
34.
32.
That's the right answer, you know.
We have a correct answer.
It's a Robbie Ray.
And it goes to Alan Styles.
Come on!
Sprinkles!
Sprinkles! What are you guys doing today on the show?
Yeah, if you miss any of our interviews every hour, we will be playing some of them.
I'm sorry, what?
It was just a great experience yesterday. And anybody that missed.
The funny part is that we stole your own interview to play on our show, which is
lazy. It's fine. We have plenty.
That's what, yes, exactly.
So, yeah, we'll be playing those. We got football to get to. Christian McCaffrey and his Achilles tendonitis and the Adam Schefter update. And maybe if we have a little bit of time, we'll get into some baseball playoffs.
You said Christian McCaffrey has Achilles tendonitis. Is it properly pronounced Achilles tendonitis? Find out on Styles and Watkins coming up 10 to 2 next.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers